Greetings, weary travelers. I'm your dungeon master, Logan Hanley, and together with my motley crew of adventurers, we welcome you all to the Kantor Chronicles here on Fabled 42, where we build community through friendship, gaming, and just a wee bit of chaos. You can find us here every second and fourth Friday of every month at twitch.tv/Fabled42. Now, before we continue with our adventure, let's dive into some announcements. Solo?
Thank you. That was really pleasant. I enjoyed that.
That was the best one so far.
Yeah, and then my spazzy energy. So yeah, we do have a few announcements. Anything that you see that's 3D printed in any of our streams is brought to you by Griffin Co. Oh, of course, it's not working. We are Vorpal powered, so our video and audio displays, player indicators, digital dice. Oh my god, you guys are touching stuff. Zoom features on the battle map, all brought to you by Vorpal. Sorry, my hotkeys aren't working for some reason. And you can get all your tabletop needs from Tabletop Game and Hobby. And we also have another slew of... Nope, they're not working either. Kevany Kobold, Underground Oracle, and Slayers Guild are also awesome sponsors of the show. I was talking so highly about the damn Stream Deck, and it's just not working. So that's fun.
There you go.
So just a few
Have
other...
you tried turning it off and on again?
Logan, when you get that thing where you can send something to hit Eddie, please let me know. Just kidding. I love
All right.
Few other housekeeping announcements. So we have kind of taken in Vorpal board. So the Vorpal board weekly, bi-weekly stream River Break will be starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I will be playing a Firbolg Bard, so that should be interesting. And Sunday is our next episode of Adventures in Middle Earth. Another fun note about Adventures in Middle Earth is starting October 11th.
11th.
Yeah. October 11th, we will be every other week. So we're going to switch our once-a-month game that is normally 6+ hours to an every other week game that'll be about 3 or so hours. So a lot more frequency with that. So that's also really exciting. That's all I got. Back to you, Logan.
Awesome. One last thing, that below you guys can see our Fabled 42 menu where you can give us a bunch of really cool stuff. There's a bit menu if you want to donate bits for healing potions, which stay with the players throughout their entirety of their adventures. Or you can also, if you're a member of our Patreon or you are a subscriber here on Twitch, you can do one of those things down below as well. The first tier is 1 luck point or one inspiration die, which is a d6. For $5, the $10 one is 3 of each, and for $25, you can give everybody in the party 1 of each, or you can give one person 5 of each. Choice is yours.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
I did not intend to do that, but that's okay.
I love it.
Now,
I'm contagious.
without any further ado, we welcome you all to the Kantor Chronicles. Take us away, Solo. Welcome back. So, where we last left off, our party of adventurers, taking a long rest, decided to go down to the lair of Malcrick and talk with him. After conversing with him briefly and learning that their safety could be ensured by delivering a small vial to the well in Welton, ensuring that Malcrick could possibly effectively take over the town. The party decided to intervene, Vale stepping forward, taking multiple blows, knocking her unconscious. The rest of the party springing into quick action and fighting Malcrick and his guards. Through some long fought trial, the party managed to overcome Malcrick and his army, small army. Art being knocked unconscious and like that being revived. Viago, same thing, up and down the entire battle. A couple great sleep spells by Thea, and Gino Zabani with his cloak billowing everywhere.
Okay.
No, it's okay. I got you. It was really the cloak. It wasn't Gino.
It was more style than substance, but that's how I work.
The cloak flying was pretty epic.
That was a good one. Managed to defeat Malcrick, Viago awaking and beating him into a bloody pulp. You take some time investigating and searching around, gathering some loot and some other materials before heading out of the cave, or heading to the brood pit in the cave. Finding it empty, you follow a trail of slime to the tunnel that you first entered, where it was going deeper into the earth. Contacting your friend Git, and talking to him through the message spell, you learned that they went into the deep tunnel where they most likely would never be seen again. Git wanting to remain in the temple to Kurtlemak for the rest of his short-lived days. Art and Viago climb down using some mayonnaise, which, man, again, is a combustible. Don't try to combust it at home. Managed to collapse the tunnel, ensuring that the kobolds could no longer make their way out and back into the den. After that, you set out through the main entryway and found your cart, and with the sun rising at your backs, began your journey toward the town of Welton. So, it'll take you guys about a couple hours, maybe about 2-3 hours to get there. It'll be mid-morning by that time, but if there's anything you guys would like to do in the meantime.
We're herding the livestock, correct?
You are also herding the livestock as you are going, correct?
Okay. And we're just going to take them back to Welton? Or, are we supposed to, drop them off at a different...
You're not really sure.
Okay. We'll just take them to Welton.
Lovely.
Art, as they travel in the cart, Art is being uncharacteristically quiet in the back of the cart.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
Well, I'm just going to be driving up front.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Viago's helping with the herding of cattle.
One of you or multiple of you will need to make animal handling checks for the herd.
I got it.
So somebody would like to help Viago.
17.
Give him.
I can help.
Go ahead and roll with advantage as
Ooh.
Thea helps you.
Don't forget about those luck and inspos, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was 17 is the best.
Art is going to come out of the cart for just a quick moment. He's going to look at Viago for a second, and then he's going to go over to Thea. So, he doesn't need any help, but if you need any help with, corralling the sheep or anything, I mean, maybe this can help. And he gives you the candlestick.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it can, encourage them to go one way over another. I don't know.
Doesn't it just kind of scream real loud to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd run if I heard a giant scream like that, right?
Yeah, I guess I would too. Well, thank you. If it comes in handy, I'm sure it will.
Didn't we?
Great.
Didn't we use some of my rope and somebody else's rope to like tether all the cows to what I'm holding? Is it not what we did, or is that what we were doing?
You could have done that, yeah.
Okay.
I'll allow that. Yeah.
Okay. How many are there? I don't even have my notebook. I'm not ready, guys. I'm sorry.
Viago, you get a luck and an inspo.
Yes.
And a Veil, you get a luck and an inspo. Oh god. And Art, you get a luck, and Viago, you get an inspo.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And you said all of that reset right at the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah. So any ones you had from last game,
Great.
zero out, and you get.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you.
There was also a bit donation. I don't know what that goes to, though.
There was.
Oh.
As one point of interest, I will say I think I retained 1 luck from last game because Logan gave me a special.
Yes, the luck I gave you, the exceptional luck, I forget. No, it was for the mayonnaise. It was for the mayonnaise.
Oh, yeah, knowing the burning, or yeah. Mm-hmm.
Knowing that mayonnaise apparently has a flashpoint. Yeah.
The things you research as a goblin artificer.
But yeah, so you managed to corral the animals as you guys are going, making your way through. Viago, having them tied off. A couple cows try to get. The goats don't really budge much, and they follow on the lead that you have for them. And we're back. So Solo or Viago taking the lead with the animals. A cow tries to meander its own way, but you pull on the little leash that you made for it and get it back on track, no problem. You guys manage to start to pull into. You take some time traveling through the grasslands and the fields before getting to Welton and coming through the main thoroughfare into the town square. It's still relatively early. It's springtime, but it isn't quite to the point where farmers are out planting or doing anything with the fields quite yet. So they're still, most of them are still asleep, and there are only a few people meandering around town. But as you guys roll in, Viago, you let the animals go and they start wandering around town. A couple villagers quickly try to grab the couple that are there and move them to proper homes or pens.
Is it just a free-for-all? Like they're just claiming these animals?
Right? Exactly.
You probably
free. There you
brought
go.
at least 500 gold worth of live. No, I'm kidding. What would you like to do?
Well, I suppose we head for the council, yeah? The people that gave us this job in the first place?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, good for us to get paid.
All right, well.
So you head into the inn where you meet, or where you've all met very shortly, Bantith and Lenora Slatebeard, the two dwarves that own the Shepherd's Crook Inn Tavern. You head to the back room where your initial meeting of the other of the council members was, and it's empty.
I wonder if it's after business hours.
Or maybe before? It's a little early.
What time is it?
Gino pulls out a ornately crafted pocket watch.
It's roughly 9:07 and 46 seconds.
AM or PM?
AM.
All right. Well, these guys are getting a pretty late start.
Or they're dead.
Art would like to take a look at his watch to make sure it's accurate.
Art, looking at your watch, you're about 3 hours, 25 minutes, and 10 seconds off.
So we just synchronize watches before. All right.
Do-do-do, do-do-do.
Mine is one of those atomic watches, so it can't possibly be off. All right. Well, I mean, this is an inn, so you figure there'd be somebody watching over it.
Like there's nobody in it at all. Like not even a bar.
No, there are a handful. There's a couple of patrons in there. Lenora and Bantith. Lenora being Lenora is going around taking orders and serving, while Bantith is behind the bar. There are a handful of people that look like they've spent the night. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Just Viago or
Anyone that wants to.
Yeah, 15.
that's a 19.
Okay. Oh, did they change the dice?
Yeah. they're a little
Yes,
bit better.
they have little Vorpal logos for the 20 now.
No
Art
way.
is-
That's
It's very cool. Vorpal.
It's got like fancy numbers on it.
yeah.
Vorpal board.
Vorpal board.
Little, yellow, different.
All right. Everybody, or who got above a 15?
Art is back to going uncharacteristically quiet as he rolls the 2.
So, Gino and Viago, the two things you notice, Gino or Viago, you recognize that in the far back corner, super almost hidden in the shadow, eating breakfast, Avi Fethlin, the female halfling you guys met, who is mortified by not only the talking wolves, but Art the goblin. You also, the two of you also pick up that sitting at one table, you see 3 individuals in these rough cloaks, these rough gray cloaks, and underneath you can kind of make out parts of armor, looking at either breastplates or some sort of plate armor.
Weapons on their side?
Yeah. 2 of them have long swords, and then the third one has this giant, or this larger flail Morningstar looking weapon.
That will be mine. I'm kidding.
Do they seem to be following any sort of dress code from any sort of group that I would be familiar with traveling around?
Roll a history check. I forgot about your travel lineage.
It's my only defining feature.
What about my background? They're not
Maybe?
usually uniform.
Are you proficient in history?
No.
Then I will say no. You didn't really care much for uniform. Gino, what'd you get?
I get that is a 13. I get a straight 0 to history.
Okay.
Actually, I was gonna say, was this with regards to identifying armor?
It is.
Then Art might have read something about it. He's pretty good at history.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Anybody here familiar with cloaks?
However, the dice are not in his favor. But
That's actually a good question. I am a blacksmith.
I'll let you roll with proficiency, adding your intelligence.
Which is a 0.
So roll and then add your proficiency to it.
Oh god,
Is
it was
your
almost a 1. That is a 19. Plus
so
proficiency, so that's a 21.
That's better
Okay.
than mine.
A 19 would 21 would give you a no 19. Oh yeah, you guys are only level 3, so it's still +2. It's pretty ornately made, at least from what you can see. It's really well made armor. You can't really catch any glimpses or anything that would tell you exactly who wore it, but whoever is wearing this definitely has some sort of money or some sort of clout to the point where they've been awarded or given or bought this armor. Gino with a 13. Without seeing any sort of insignias or signs or crests. You can't really pick it out. There are a lot of different knights that travel across the trade roads of Kantor, and either keep the peace or are on specific missions. The ones that come to mind to you the most are the knights of the trade road. But again, without any sort of crest, you aren't super. You're not picking anything out.
Conveniently specific name.
Yes.
All right.
Does my 17 get me anything?
Oh, a 17. Looking at the armor and Art being a little bit more of the mischievous and like, oh, shiny, I'm gonna go look kind. I would imagine you get a little bit closer and kind of like try to kind of peek around and get a look at the front. You do see a tabard on the front. You've only seen it once before, and the only thing you could remember is that these are potentially Hell Knights.
Hell Knights.
Hell Knights?
Hell Knights. I believe that's the proper terminology.
Is it Hellmite with like an M?
Hell,
Like termite?
No, not Knight. Knight.
Hey, Knight.
Okay.
Hang on, let me double check. Xanathar, give me the answer to my problems.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Would I be familiar with them?
Yes,
For my
Hell
tools?
Probably not.
Okay, just wondering.
Probably not. They're a very kind of specific thing, and
Okay.
yeah. And you do remember that Avi is technically a member of the council. She was the 5th member that was absent because she was up in her room cowering.
Okay. Well, we might as well approach her then. Anybody have any objections?
I think I'll stay back here with Art.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
do the
okay.
talking, I suppose.
I'll go with you.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah, we scared her.
yeah,
we
well-
scared her last time.
Oh, okay, well.
I'll approach AV and just doff my hat at her a little bit and say, "Don't worry, we've addressed the situation. The livestock are safe."
Oh, okay. Just the livestock? Did you the wolves?
Oh well, the kobold. Well, turns out those wolves were actually a bunch of kobolds in disguise. It was actually pretty ingenious. I kept one of the suits as a souvenir. However, we drove them out. They should be out of here. You should not have to worry about them any longer.
Oh. And she you watch as this kind of giant smile and like her eyes light up. Thank you. I would imagine you guys want to get paid now. I don't know quite what the Merricksons or Tylus or Reich offered you, but I can go get them if you want.
Oh, sure, that'd be greatly appreciated. Assuming that they're not asleep or something, I wouldn't want to wake them up.
I mean, it's a little after 9 or almost 10, so I would imagine they're out and about their business. But we only meet about once a week in the hall, and that's probably why while you guys were there. But I'll go fetch them right now. And she downs her ale, and as she's running out, she glances toward the two of you and Art. She looks at you. She looks at you and then kind of glances down. Give me an insight check.
Ooh.
Like straight, or do you want me to actually roll for it? I passive or roll for it?
What's your passive?
My passive is an 11. My roll was better.
Okay, I'll take your roll then.
13.
13. You can tell she almost seems like ashamed. More of like she's not looking at you out of like self-shame. Like she's ashamed of herself. There we go. That's a word.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you. And she like beelines it out the door.
You scared her again.
Oh. I mean, she seemed like she was in a hurry. I thought she was just busy.
My God, he reminds me of Furbies. That's what it is. Got it. There we go.
It's a green goblin. All right. So you guys wait a couple minutes before Tylus and Reich Shear and the Merrickson brothers, Rost and Alexei. And yes.
Actually, after she leaves, I'd like to just kind of saunter over to the. Is there a spot at the table that the tabard men are at?
Yeah, there's a couple spots open.
DM, I also sent you a PM, by the way. Oh,
yes, I see it. I'm responding now.
Are there any spare table scraps lying around anywhere?
Make a perception.
Wait, are the rest of us? Did we catch it? Wait, are we still split?
No, you're Vale, you and Viago and Art were kind of in the right through the door, while Gino and all right, hang on. It's been 5 episodes, and I still can't. I see Thea. It's Thea.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep wanting to say Thea. While Gino and Thea went over and talked to Avi, you guys are all they're kind of milling about and starting to make their way back toward you. Nessa stayed in the cart.
Okay, cool. So I was just gonna say, I think at this point, because Art is on the smaller side, Vale would see what he's doing, and she would just discreetly go by tables and just be taking everyone's butter.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
There's little the little butter dishes at every table, and
she's like, because Vale, Art's like, and Vale's like. And she just walks by.
Here's the important question. Are you taking the dishes as well and butter?
I'm not gonna stand and pull the butter out. Yeah, she's like, I imagine she took a bag or something from the back of the cart, and is just discreetly walking the table and just going. Foop, foop.
You're gonna get the butter everywhere.
No, it's going. It's butter doesn't unless it's melted. It could,
She's
doing.
She's doing the cat move where you just kind of knock it off the table. Yeah, just boop.
She hasn't back me.
Yeah, so you're going and you gather up enough of these little butter clumps and hand them to Art, I would imagine. Art, looking at all this butter, you have 2 full sticks worth of butter.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you got a weird thing with butter going on. I don't get it, but you sure know how to blow things up, so I feel like I might as well keep you supplied.
Oh, this is great! I'm gonna have so much fun with this. Did you happen to see any table scraps lying around as well? Was there any extra food or anything? Yeah,
I gotcha. Okay. And she's walking by, and if people are turned away from their plate, she's again with the bag.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand for that one.
I will.
Since it's specifically people's food.
Well, I mean, I'm waiting to see if they've been done with it. But yeah, sleight of hand. Oh, good. I'm good with that.
I'm so
good. Okay.
Right now that you're stealing more butter.
23. That's a 23.
23. Yeah, you get enough scraps for a decent meal, some pocket bacon, some breakfast.
Pocket bacon.
I don't know what he's gonna do with it, but he makes things go boom. So.
Why haven't we heard of pocket bacon before?
Right. Oh my God.
Always
trademark pending.
You always make sure you have pocket bacon.
Oh, I feel like that would be something he would have said.
So, thanking Vale thoroughly, Art's gonna go off to a corner and just very subtly making sure no one's looking. He's going to take the little blanket-covered cage and make sure he gets a couple of scraps of food in there for his little friend.
Awesome. Can you remind me your skunk's name?
I think it's Dukal.
Dukal.
Or Dukar, excuse me.
Dukar. So you feed Dukar. You hear him kind of not squeal, but I don't know, a combination of a purr. Yeah, like that. And grabs the food and starts munching on it and looks really happy and content. What would the rest of you like to do? You guys have a few minutes. I think, Gino, you said you were going to do something.
Yeah, I wanted to saunter over to where these tabard boys are while we're waiting,
Yes.
and just make a little introduction. Just gonna slide in and just be like, "Good morning, gentlemen. How are we all doing?"
And when you sit at the table, you notice that two of them are human, or look to be some kind of human, whether it's a half elf or not necessarily half orc, but more. They have stronger jaw lines. The one has pointier ears. There's some sort of half breed. You're not 100% sure. The one in the center of the one side of the table is a dwarf with this burning, and like by red I mean like if lava could have it's like the color of lava, almost brighter than Nessa's hair, but darker than just like the straight up orange of like your banner down there. And you can see his face is covered with you're not quite sure if they're pockmarks or they're scars. And he kind of looks at me and just nods and looks at you and nods for a second, keeps eating his food. The other two aren't really paying much attention to you.
Okay, but nobody seems uncomfortable, really. They're all just kind of like,
no, they seem pretty for lack of better words, they're not disgruntled by the fact that you sat there. They're kind of uncaring.
all right, perfect. Yeah. So after sitting, I'm just gonna be like, I'm Gino Zabani. Perhaps you've heard of the Zabani caravan. Just wondering if you gentlemen, you seem like you travel quite a lot. I'm a little newer to the area. Was wondering if you knew of any good marketplaces in the area, and also if you're short on any supplies. Of course, I'd be happy to see if I could help you out. Got a couple things in the wagon and fairly competitive prices.
We could always look and see if we can do any trade. We're not really from around here either. We came from down the road a bit, Driston. And before that, we came from Davenport, and before that, we came from down south. But we're going to be heading north. This is just a stop for us.
Yeah, it makes sense. Welton isn't exactly what I'd call a tourist trap. But, all right, well, if you need anything, just go ahead and hit me up. I'll be around here for a while, I believe. The rest of the day, possibly. Just wanted to say good morning and let you know what's up.
Thank you. Zabani, you said?
Zabani, yes, of the Zabani caravan. Perhaps you've heard of us.
Noted.
Excellent.
I mean,
He didn't say his first name, did he?
Really quick, Patreon inspo to Gino and Art, luck point to Vale, Thea, and Viago, and a D6 inspo for Vale.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sub stuff to DM. Does that mean I also get one of each?
Yes, it does.
I like that. Thank you, Cody. I have to use them today, so we'll might have to have some combat now. Cool. Tarask, here we. I mean, what?
I have one on the top of the
I'm just gonna look. I'm just zooming in on Zelda's back wall whenever I want something.
No!
But you go back. A couple minutes go by. The council comes in and Rast or Tylus kind of storms in and goes straight into the council chamber. Alexi and Rast, Merrickson look and both nod their head towards you, Art and Vale, and then Reich Shear. You see kind of waves toward you, Gino, and they all motion you in. AV coming up behind. Okay, they're all here now. You feel free to go on in. I'll be in there as well. And she turns and starts.
Can I try and grab her? Not like physically grab her, but like stop her. Like,
Yeah, you can do that.
I was just wondering how you were doing. I know last time we saw you.
Yeah. Whatever the blue one, Gino.
Yeah, Gino.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh well, no. He made something for me, but it was Nessa, the tall one. She gave it to me. Whatever it was, it worked wonders. I mean, it was kind of off-putting most of the day. I didn't, but thankfully I didn't see any wolves, so it wasn't that bad. And
Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
and I stayed in my room most of the time. Candlestick talked to me for a minute, but it was okay.
Good. You look good. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it definitely calmed my nerves and it was super helpful. Yeah.
That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. And she heads back into the council chamber. As you guys all follow and file in, Rost and Alexei Merrickson look at each other, and Rost, it seems you have returned. What is the final ultimatum that you've discovered? I don't know. Words are hard right now.
I was gonna say an ultimatum. What?
I have not had my morning chai tea latte. It is okay. What happened with the wolves?
Well, it turns out what we had instead of lichens was merely a den full of extremely enterprising kobolds. They've been chased off, and they have no way back. Everything should be safe up to this point. Do you happen to know, is there any history with this town and kobolds?
Ross looks toward Alexei, and you can see him stroking his beard a bit. And I do not think so. No. As far as the records reflect, we have had no problem with kobolds.
Interesting. They seem to have some sort of grudge against this town. Well, one of the things that we found was that there was a plot to poison the well. Literally poison the well. Thankfully, they won't be around to do that anymore. But it seems like an awfully premeditated step for a kobold.
They also seem to think that this was not the first time that someone's tried to interact with them.
No one from Welton, at least, has gone and dealt with the wolves outside of the farmers. And Evie can attest to how that went. And Evie's like, yeah, it was a shit show, as you guys are aware, and left me emotionally scarred for, I think, the rest of my life. But it's nobody pursued farther than that.
Well, that's very curious. You say none of this is ringing a bell. Anything that was any sort of further plot on Welton is just unmotivated as far as you can tell.
At this, Reich and Tylus both you can see kind of give each other not dirty looks, but they're kind of like what's going on? Like they're like kobolds? What? No. No. I mean, we haven't. This kobolds are the first. We've never even seen a kobold. I mean, I've heard of them, but nothing in the town. They had something against Welton, though.
They asked us to poison the water supply in exchange for our lives, which is why they wound up losing theirs. But like I said, that seems a little. That seems so calculated for a kobold den, and to target a population like that, it just doesn't seem.
And Tyler speaks up. Well, we have. I mean, the area where we live, it's pretty prosperous with food and livestock, and there's a lot here, resource-wise. I mean, the woods are only a few hours away, but I don't know. I mean, we do have some wealth here. We're not a poor village by any means.
But they seem to be more interested in the livestock. They were more like, we want food. But then again, they said to poison the well, which seems strange for just being hungry.
It seems counterproductive, right? Like, if they kill the population here, then there won't be farmers to have livestock.
Well, I mean, also if it kills the cows, it makes it, so that they don't have to chase them as far, and then that's, easier for them. So we may be overthinking this.
It's possible.
Does Viago notice anything with his demeanor as these two are talking to him or questioning him? Do I feel like he's hiding anything?
Which one?
Any of them, really?
Give me an insight check. Ooh, that's good. I didn't. There you go.
15.
Tylus, you can gauge looking at him. He seems a little bit more, a little flustered. But you're not quite sure what the reason of that is.
And it's just us and
well, you got
the few of them in there?
It's you and the five of them. That's it.
Okay.
While you guys are talking and kind of like trying to process things out, you watch as Alexei, his eyes kind of light up. And he's like, the will. If they poison the well, that would make us sick, not the livestock.
Yeah.
If we are sick, we cannot defend ourselves, which would make it easier for someone to come in and take over.
The livestock?
No, forget the livestock. Forget the livestock.
Have you read Animal Farm?
I don't mean to pry, but have you guys had any sort of threats?
No, but if a den had formed and saw us as a threat, or saw us as a means to more available resources, they could have potentially. I mean, kobolds aren't, like you said, they shouldn't be that smart. They shouldn't be.
Let's take the kobolds out of the equation. I'm just saying, in general, you don't have any idea anyone who'd want to do this to you.
No. I mean, we are a small community.
And there's nothing else here that people would want.
I mean, we have our livestock, which help fund the shearing co and help produce wool and fabrics that then get sold on the market by Tyler, the trading guild. You didn't mute yourself.
Why is my mic?
I saw him reach up there too. He went, whoop.
Oh, wrong mic. That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, the stream was muted, so they didn't hear it. I think.
Yeah.
You guys can hear this now?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah,
You're
Vorpal picked up. I don't even know what mic Vorpal picked.
There was definitely more than usual, so I think it was probably your on board.
That's fun.
Point is, do you suppose that somebody may have recruited the kobolds that they may have been directed to weaken you. That perhaps it wasn't the kobolds who were meaning to take over, but they were working in concert with somebody. Or
How desperate do you have to be to hire kobolds?
Poor, poor.
I mean, I don't. No, I mean, I don't know. I didn't. That's for sure. I know Rest and Alexi, you didn't. I don't think any of the farmers did, or else they wouldn't have went up. Excuse me. Or else they wouldn't have went out and got their butts whooped by a bunch of kobolds in wolf suits. You said. Yeah, no.
well, either way, I'm going to. I'm gonna take some time. I'm gonna isolate that poison, create an antidote to it. If there is somebody who comes in and starts poisoning things here, if they're using that poison, I should have a way to counteract it. Ready by the end of the day.
DM question real quick. Was Malcrick,
Yep.
was he just a kobold, like on steroids? Like, was it natural, or was he an actual dragonborn?
So Malcrick, is called a swobold, which is essentially just a beefed up kobold. Mechanically, he's just a kobold on steroids.
Got it. I'm gonna look at all of them very closely. Any of you know the name Malcrick?
Oh
They
yeah,
all-
that was the kobold leader.
They all start to shake their head and no.
And I believe-
You're just here
and I believe them.
across the board. Go ahead and roll a insight check. I'm going to
15.
use my inspiration or my luck, and I'm going to use my inspiration.
I'm gonna use my luck too. Why not?
When else am I going to use it?
Dirty.
What'd you get? 50? Dirty 20. You can tell that that what's his name? Tylus Marion is clearly lying. You can tell just in his facial expression and in his eyes that he's not being honest.
Which one is he?
He's the
Which-
one that hired you.
No,
and
wait, like
India.
like what's his? Which person is
Oh,
he?
he's,
Which race?
He's a halfling.
Halfling.
And he's the head of the Growers and Buyers League,
Okay.
which does all the trading.
I'm gonna keep that to myself for right now. Because Gino and I haven't come up with some sort of code yet. Don't trust Tylus. Talk later.
I mean, I imagine I'm also watching them. I haven't really been saying it, but
If you're watching and you want to make it an insight check, go ahead, Gino.
I'm a pretty insightful person.
You're pretty
That's,
luck.
that's a, I do have an inspo. What did I roll for? That's a 14.
A 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that he's being dishonest. I think I only rolled a 14. So
Okay.
Damn, I wasted a luck.
I rolled a 6 and then a 5, and then I rolled a 6, and then I rolled a 5 on my inspo.
Given how close Art and Viago have gotten recently, would I have been able to interpret at all what he was trying to do?
Being arguably 6 feet below his eye level, no.
That's
Okay.
fair.
That's fair.
But also, Viago, I would imagine, while he's a pretty calculating and like strategically minded, has had enough experience in his life to kind of self-compose himself and not give himself away,
That's also
given
very
the nature
fair.
given the nature of his job.
I like it.
Greg speaks up. We agreed 300 gold pieces if this was completed, right? I think I wrote it down somewhere. And you
Yeah.
watch him like pull from his little.
What was it? Was it 300 gold pieces to take care of the wolves? Was the kobold den extra then?
What? Well, I mean, technically, the wolves were the kobolds, and the kobolds were the wolves. And since you dealt with the kobolds who were the wolves, that's the same job.
It's the same job, but it certainly wasn't the job that we signed up for.
I feel like you were a little less than forthcoming with us.
I mean, I don't think they knew. Not to. I mean,
Well-
I know you.
Listen.
I was about to give you advantage, but now roll straight.
I love it so much. Oh my god.
If one of you wants, one of you excluding Thea, I don't know. Thea can roll as well. She's the charisma character. I'm going to give it to her. If one of you want to roll a straight persuasion or, straight persuasion check.
This will be good. Oh, actually, it was pretty good.
I got a 17.
I got an 18.
Okay.
Take that, Solo.
So we're gonna
like
use.
it. I warmed him
use
up and then I got a
arch-
co-signer. I love it.
In fact, actually, you know what? Just for giggles, because I have it, let's go ahead and throw that inspiration on top of it,
Oh.
which adds an additional 1.
All right. So with the 19, Wright kind of scratches his head and he's. I can't speak for everyone. If you're gonna develop an antidote, we'll pay you for the antidote and fairly pay for it. For permanently eradicating the problem, and he turns to Alexi and Rast and looks the other way toward Tyler. An extra 150 gold pieces sound fair? And Tylus immediately gets off. We agreed to 300 gold pieces for the eradication of the wolves. That was all.
Yep, and then we went above and beyond.
How do you go beyond eradicating?
Well, we stopped
listen.
them from putting poison in your well, first off.
Yeah.
And we made sure they would never come back.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm asking for a little bit more is we used a little bit more resources to fully eradicate the den of kobolds, not just 3 wolves. But I understand.
I mean, we also were kind enough to tell them not to come back. I mean, we can, go call them and say, "Hey, we just kidding."
So you said you eradicated them, but then let them leave. Which
I mean,
would
they do
mean that
pretty
they're not
quickly.
eradicated and could come back. And he
We
turns
all-
toward. Do you see what we're dealing with?
We re-eradicated the adults. We're not going to murder
Well-
children. The mother
all
and the
of this
children ran away, and we closed the door. The cave. So yes, we eradicated
Okay.
the problem, but we are not going to murder children.
Vale at this point has very quietly walked around to behind him while they're all arguing with him.
Okay.
And she's just made her way behind him and she's just gonna very discreetly take a dagger out and shove it up against his back.
Boy.
I really feel like you need to listen to what my friends are saying to you.
Make a sleight of hand for me first, please.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I thought she was doing this to you. Now I realized where you.
No,
I was like,
not to Viago. Viago and I are good. After we punched each other, we're fine. We're
thank
great.
God. Okay.
We're
good.
BFFs. We worked through this.
You all turn around as Viago just gets his throat slit.
I was like, oh no.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You watch as Rost and no, it's just Rost. Rost kind of leans back in his chair and looks toward you, and he has a mug in front of him, and he takes it and he slams it. That is enough. Go back with your friends, child.
Look,
He
I
says
don't
that
need-
to me?
To you.
I have a dagger in his back, and that's
No, this is another council member. This is a different council member.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting the names mixed up.
This
okay.
is one of the bearded Russian dudes.
The head mob.
All right.
Guys.
This is one of the guys that Ross is one of the two brothers that hired you and Art, or that were instructing you and Art what to do.
All right, look.
I'm not going to move. I'm staying there with my dagger still in his back. I'm going to look at him. And I'm going to look to my friends. But I'm not going to move.
All right, look. We did the job. When it comes to money, I'm fine. I don't need any money. What I care about is preventing this plague from happening. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go make an antidote. Pay for it, don't pay for it. I don't mind. Thea, would you mind coming with me?
We are a council here. One person does not speak for all of us. If you would have given us a moment, and he glances over to Tylus, to calm the fuck down. And as he's glancing, he's looking at Tylus, but like it's like that weird thing where one eye focuses on one person while the other eye focuses on the other person. And he's looking at both you and Tylus kind of simultaneously. Maybe we could have gone to a vote that would have been heavily in your favor. Now, if you would wish to proceed with that, we may. Again, still kind of looking toward you, Vale, and Tylus is like, I have no problem with that. Yes, Father.
And I'm just going to turn to him and be like, it seems you didn't inherit any of your father's good sense. You've got a lot to learn, little one. And she'll take the dagger away. And
Okay.
As she does so, Art is going to just casually wander in that direction, seeming like he is completely distracted by something. And as Vale starts making her way back towards the group, Art is going to trip on the ground at Tylus's feet and attempt to, without his noticing, touch one of his shoes on the way standing back up.
Make a sleight of hand.
You know, I do have the warlock tiles. I can build a tavern right now. That's totally fine.
Went ahead and used one of my lucks on those, so that comes up to a 19.
A 19. Okay, you successfully touch his shoe.
Cool. So his shoe now suddenly starts giving off the smell of horse shit.
Oh boy. Oh.
Okay, and then you stand up and walk back with Vale.
Yep.
oh my god, it's amazing. Amazing.
I don't want to. What did you do?
I tinkered with his shoe so that it would forever smell of horse shit until
Forever.
at least until I turn it off. But
How is this a thing? I can't believe this is a thing. I love this.
Man, remember when you said that that I was gonna probably kill you eventually? Maybe in like 3 minutes.
Oh
No.
my God.
So you head back, and it takes a minute, and you can tell like eventually he starts to. You can see him sitting there, and he glances down and like looks at his shoe and doesn't see anything. Gino.
After I said the last thing, I would have just like left.
You would have left.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to started working on this stuff. Yeah.
Thea, are you going with him?
Yes, but before I'm gonna say to the group, guys, I don't really care about the money. We just did the right thing. I don't understand. It's a couple extra 100 gold. I don't think
we
it's
did
worth
risk our lives.
We also signed up for that when we agreed. What if it had been wolves and they had killed us? They're not, just because they're kobolds doesn't make it worse. We just figured out what the real problem was. I'm just saying, I just feel like y'all's priorities are a little mixed up here. But I'm gonna go help with the antidote thing. I don't know much about it, but I don't really want to be here for this conversation. And she leaves.
You can't let people walk all over you.
At that, I'll turn around and go, I'm not. I'm just doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not because it's financially suits my needs or my desires or my wants. So before you start saying things about me like that, don't.
This is not about the money. This is about these people taking advantage and profiting off the pain of others and us standing up against that.
It's also a little bit about the money because some of us don't have the ability to make money the same as others. Some of us get chased out of town quite frequently.
I don't have much money either. I'm not. Whatever, y'all do whatever you want. I just don't want to be part of it.
So as Gino and Thea walk out and do this, and Art does his thing, I'm gonna kind of, knowing Art and knowing he's always up to no good, I'm just gonna kind of usher them out. Well, you all discuss the fare payment. We'll wait outside. Gino will make his antidote. We'll all be happy. We have an accord.
Ross just nods his
And we'll does everybody else smell it too, or is it just him?
Yeah, at this point, like Ross and Alexi and Reich and Avi all kind of turn. They're like holding their nose and just whatever.
Yeah. When you're done, if you can meet outside, that'd be lovely. And I'm gonna walk out and kind of usher Art and Vale if she'll let me out.
Okay. You all, Vale, you let him usher you out?
Sure.
Okay. You all take a step out of the chamber and you can hear them starting to converse. The room stale with the smell at this point. It's not like, I would imagine that it's magical enough to make it smell, but it's not like it's like an instant gas grenade. Right, yeah. So like it's slowly wafted through the chamber.
You can't.
It's definitely like it's like he stepped in it, but he just can't seem to get rid of it for some reason.
Yeah. But you guys all exit out. Gino and Thea, what were you guys up
to? My plan is to head into the wagon, go over to the to my herbalism bench. I want to very quickly just like run a couple tests on this poison, figure out what kind it is, what it's derived from, create like a quick antidote of it, asking her to help with like, hold this, bring me some of these, like that sort of thing. But really it's more about, did you see your guidance thing?
No, I was dabbing. I was dabbing you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I wanted to be there to just wipe the sweat off my brow as I actually work.
Yeah, go ahead and this would fall under herbalism.
Yes.
So I would say let's do your wisdom plus your plus proficiency for using your herbalism kit. There's a technical rule in Xanathars.
I'm pretty sure it's herbalism.
I'm pretty sure it's herbalism.
That is 17 altogether.
17? Yeah, so you can quickly figure it out. Did I give you the name last time?
The name of what? Poison?
Yeah.
I think we might have done like a quick test on it, but we didn't really dive into it too much.
Mm-hmm. So this poison that the DM did not have the name for prepared is called something that the DM will think of when we go on break.
Been there.
So many however, it's a mild poison. The rest of it is fine. I just didn't the name. I was like, I should make a name, and then no. Chat, if you want to make a name for this poison, go ahead. Oh God.
While Gina's working on this, Art is writing in his notebook in gibberish.
Really
watching
quick,
it with fascination.
Inspo and luck to Gino, Viago, Art, and Thea.
Thank you.
Also,
it's a pretty mild poison. The way it works is that it once ingested or gotten into the bloodstream through some sort of wound would cause slight nausea and like really, really bad like migraines and head pain, which would essentially lead to the eventual hemorrhaging in your brain. Not like instant, but like it's one of those things where it's slowly over time if not treated.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And something that would be eventually fatal.
Potentially.
Sounds like if your brain is hemorrhaging, that's
potentially. It's more of like, yeah. I mean, potentially. It's not. It's meant to weaken. It's typically meant to weaken so somebody could go in and finish the job. It's not so much meant to kill. It's meant to impair. Yeah, Gino.
So as soon as the antidote is ready, I also want to have a conversation while this is happening. But like basically, so after I do the antidote, I also want to pour the poison vial that I have. I want to pour into another flask that I have and rinse it out real quick. And then I want to start mixing another concoction for that vial.
Okay.
And so and as I'm doing that, like with Thea, I just want to say, like, look, I just wanted you to know that I appreciate you being on the right side of this whole thing. I don't think this town's exactly out of the woods yet. If we need money, I can get us money. My life is about it. Look, I love nothing more than separating somebody from money that they don't deserve to have. However, preventing a plague is also kind of a good thing to do, I would think.
I don't know. I kind of get a feeling like it's from within.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm doing this. I'm gonna shake up the second vial. Now, I made the antidote, like I promised, and I'm going to give them 2 vials in return. I'm going to say, here's the antidote, in case this poison gets used, and also, here's the poison, just so that you've got a sample of it in case you guys want to study it yourselves at all. I'm going to give it to that shifty young man over there. And I'm going to give him that vial of poison. Now, this poison, this thing I'm preparing, it's a very, very potent stuff. Now, what it does is it churns water a very bright red and absolutely nothing else. So, if our intuition happens to be correct, we just slip a little note to the rest of the council, or at least Evie. I feel like we can trust her. Water goes red. We got him. That's what I'm thinking. I just wanted to present that idea to you, see how you feel about it.
I don't like the lime part of it, but I kind of like the idea of getting someone in trouble who deserves to be in trouble. So.
Well, here's the thing. If he's not bad, if he's not working with them, if this whole thing isn't him, nobody gets hurt. It never gets used. They go on with their lives, and they've got an antidote if they need it. I just see it as insurance. I would also like you to hand it off, as I feel you're the most trustworthy and the person that they would not expect to do something like this.
Okay.
I would say we'd be probably close behind.
Yeah, what you guys, Gino, what you're doing is probably going to take the better part of the morning, like the rest of the morning, just because you have to identify the poison and then create the antidote, and then if I'm hearing you correctly, you're creating a second.
Yeah, but it won't be a difficult thing. It's basically just creating like something that looks similar to the poison, but is really basically just like a fancy dye.
You're creating food coloring, essentially.
Yeah, I'm creating food coloring that looks similar to the poison and putting it in the same bottle.
Well, no, you're kind of creating the thing that's in the swimming pool. So, like, if you pee in the pool, you see who's peed in the pool. That's what you're trying to do.
Also, that's not real. That's a myth that moms and lifeguards made up.
It's true.
Come on.
It is true.
So, Gino, I think I followed along pretty closely here, but what was that? How did you do that red water stuff? That's really cool. I'd love to know your secret to that one.
Sure. I have it written down here. I had him something that looks very similar to a Kool-Aid packet.
DM, do I have an idea of how long the council would take before I...
You're not quite sure. You would imagine you have some time.
Okay.
It's probably going to be quicker than you would expect, but...
Got it. So I'm not going to hang out there. I'll go meet them at the cart is the process.
You guys are outside the stables with the cart.
Yeah, so when I see them, I want to just make things clear. So I'm going to come up to both Gino and Thea. Just so you're both aware, I don't really want any more of the money. You ask for more money, and people who are dishonest respond as that little shit did. People who feel that they are trying to hide something, people who do things. So if they give us more money, I'll give it back. I'm not doing it per se for the money. Yes, we need money for supplies, for healing potions and other things. But you do it to get information. You negotiate to get information. People who are kind will negotiate. And if they can't afford it, they'll be like, well, we can't afford it. And we'll believe them. But when they get defensive, that shows a person's true character. Just so you all are aware, since we haven't done any negotiations before.
Yeah,
Might not have. I've negotiating is my life.
Well, with me.
That's fair.
And I don't know about you, but I don't trust Tylis.
Oh yeah, no, that guy is. If there's a weasel, that's it.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, cards on the table earlier, I may have run off a little quick there too. I just, most towns I don't tend to last very long in, so usually if I have a chance to make money, I try to make the money because, I might not be able to make any more in that town for a while.
If you want my money, you can have it. I don't really care. I mean, I'd like some of it, don't get me wrong. I gotta get some things, but I was just planning on giving it to some lady I met before who kind of struggling. So, if you're struggling, you want it, you can have it. I don't care.
I think we'll be all right. The key to this is you want a reputation, right? If we squeeze every penny out of these villagers, we're not going to get any more business from them. If we do the jobs that we say we're going to do, we get the coin agreed upon, even if we have to go above and beyond, we do that. We're fair, they're fair, we get that reputation. Apparently I'm getting a little Australian, so that's fine. Fuck.
Nessa's not even here to mess you up, man. She's not.
Well, I've been trying to practice my Gambit accent for tomorrow, so that's really messing me up.
Vale has been watching all of this, and she's just like, people who only care about money end up hurting everyone around them. Money and the quest for it destroys everything. And I will not sit by and let other people suffer because someone is greedy and is willing to risk the lives of others in order to get richer. And that is what those boys were trying to do.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just curious. I don't really follow the process of you ask them for more money to prove that they're greedy. We already know they're greedy. It's very obvious that they don't want to give us more money. And I just don't understand what we get from getting more money, I guess. That's the part that I'm not understanding.
I didn't ask them. No, I wasn't the one who asked them for more money.
That was me.
That was you.
I guess I took your dagger in his back as agreed.
That wasn't about the money. That was him trying to take advantage of people.
My apologies. I'm sorry. I misread that. I apologize.
It's all right.
But like I said before, I used 3 healing potions during that encounter. Healing potions cost money, and that's an extra expense on top of other resources. But again,
It's rough.
I'm not.
It's roughly it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go finish.
There's like a weird delay today. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's the internet. Yeah, you finish and then I'll. make
It's
my
the
point
heat
joke
wave.
after.
There's a heat wave, and everyone's melting.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, again, I don't want to squeeze every penny that we can. I asked that question to Tylis specifically. I don't feel right about him. I feel like he's the one behind this, doing this to benefit his business or something. I don't know yet.
That's exactly what I'm feeling.
So wait, we're all in agreement? What are we fighting about then?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. I feel a lot of tension. I just wanted
to... It seems like we all agree on the end, just not the means.
Well, if anybody's got a better idea than this whole thing, then feel free to let me know. But
I did get him really good, though.
I'm just a little concerned about playing our hand and raising his suspicions, as opposed to just playing along with him and letting him expose himself, which is a crime in most places on this continent. So
no, I agree. I like your idea. I think we'll get him red-handed specifically.
Yes, exactly.
At this point, you watch as Tylus walks out. Not necessarily in a huff, but like as he's walking out, you watch him like pulling off his boot. He's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, there's not even there's nothing on this. And he walks over to the well and like fills up a bucket and like dumps it on the shoe and like takes a clump of grass and pulls it out. And you watch him like trying to scrub the bottom of the boot and like sniffs it. And he's just like, oh. Reels up another bucket and keeps it on, like trying to wash it out.
Art rolled a natural 20 trying to suppress his laughter.
Yeah, if you don't mind, would you mind walking over there and apologizing to that nice young man on account of the rest of us? Go ahead and let him, just hand him the things we've done for him.
Sure.
Be great.
And so I will walk over.
Okay.
Art, you should probably,
And you watch as you're laughing, Art, he does notice and kind of turns and looks your way and gives you just a scowl.
Even with a natural 20. Ooh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're good. He does not notice you laughing. I'm sorry. I misinterpreted.
The roles that really matter.
Mm-hmm. The important roles.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a moment to say I'm really sorry for my friends. Sometimes it's really easy to just get caught up in wanting money. But anyways, we wanted to give these two gals for free. One of them this is the antidote, this one. Gina worked real hard on it. He also wanted me to give you this. It's the poison, but in case y'all like ever need to do this again, run out or something. Just make sure you keep. I feel like you're gonna keep a good eye on it, and I just want to make sure it goes in good hands.
Okay. I'll make sure that I'll make sure it goes to the right people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, I'm so sorry.
I've dealt with enough people on the trade road to know that greed can get to people.
It can. And I hate it for that reason, but what you gotta do?
Well, and he takes the two vials and you watch as he puts it in the front of his this little vest that he's wearing. I need to figure out how my boot smells like shit. Even though there's no shit on it, and I have washed it with water multiple times.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything, but it does smell heinous.
He like you can starts rolling up a third bucket of water. He's like, there's a patch of lemon. Yeah, and you watch as he like walks one foot in a boot, the other barefoot.
Just burn it, man. Just burn it.
And you watch as he pulls the grass and smells it. He's like, lemongrass, that'll work. And walks over and like starts rubbing it on top of the boot to try to figure it out.
Oh my god.
And it's just, you watch as he sits there, and, Thea, you go back to the rest of the group, and you guys watch as he sits there for probably about another 10 or 15 minutes, and he's just like, at this point, he's like getting frustrated, just fucking whips the boot across the courtyard or town square and just stomps off.
With one boot?
One boot on, yeah.
So I gave it to him.
After he walks away, when he is clearly gone and out of the picture, Art's gonna walk over to the boot, touch it, and the smell goes away.
Noted. Couple minutes later, Avi comes out. We after talking with the twins and Reich and Tylus, we can't do 150, but we can do about 75 extra gold pieces for taking care of the kobolds. Here's everything, and she extends a small leather sack.
I'll take the sack and I'm gonna count out 75 gold and hand her a smaller sack with 75 gold back. I appreciate that you would take that in consideration. We did a job. The job is now complete. And hopefully the antidote that Gino created for you all works.
Sure. I don't know how much we plan on giving you guys for that. That would be something
that's
I think maybe
on the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. One thing though, I'm going to hand her like a little note where I've written down the details of the of like what the thing is, basically like what the other vial actually is, and just this is set up to work like this. If the water turns red, that means that somebody in the council, most likely the person, just like to watch like those vials. If the water turns red, that means whoever had them tried to poison the well, basically.
Okay.
Just hand her like a little note with it.
And she'll. I
would keep that a secret from the others, just in case.
All of them?
Well, at least I have my suspicions. However, I don't know if it's just insurance. When it comes to all of them, you're the one that I trust the most. The less people know, the more likely it works.
Okay. Well, and she crumbles it up and shoves it into a pocket really quick, like not really sure what to do with it, but I'll make sure I hold on to it. Did you sign it with your name at all?
It's signed and dated.
Okay. Okay.
with a little like R AMA at the bottom of it.
And actually, when it says Zabani, the page flips a little bit.
Yeah, the page flips. Anytime they read my name.
Whatever he writes is Zabani now. Just the paper flutters in the wind.
Anything
part of the eye is just a scribble.
anything I write my name on just starts vibrating madly.
I'm gonna make that magic item. I'm gonna make that pen for you.
Oh my god. Everything you sign becomes like an item of billowing. I love it.
I love it so much.
You have an idea, and I love it. We're gonna talk.
Oh god, you guys are amazing. So I have 300 gold pieces. Am I putting this in the party fund, or do you want me to divvy this out?
It doesn't particularly matter to me. Cover your expenses.
I just want to request. I want to save a little money for that woman we met. She was on hard times. It's all kind of messed up her income. So
I forgot a lot of things. Didn't I give her? Did I give her some coin?
I didn't see it technically.
Oh, but I just can't remember. Did I?
Yeah. I don't.
I felt like I did.
I think you did. I didn't see it though, so I didn't.
That was one of those minute details that I just let happen, and I didn't.
Who knew?
I forgot.
Who knew? It was be important now.
Okay. Of course. Here, we can do
that. So, AV kind of bows and thank you. Thank you all. If you need me at all, I'll be at the end. And you watch as she walks back. As she's walking out, Ross and Alexi walk out and head toward the Temple of Pelor, the Dawn Father. Alexi starts to head back toward Reich starts to head back toward his home and small shearing facility. The day is yours.
Man, how tired are we at this point?
You guys are you guys will need to take a 24-hour period, whether you kind of like when you either need to go all day and sleep at night, or sleep during the day, stay up all. Yeah, shit. Regardless, you're gonna have to stay up all day in order to get on a proper like nighttime sleep cycle.
Yeah, can't mess up my circadian rhythm, man.
Everybody, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Sure.
Ruh-roh.
I'm gonna make one for Nessa on Vorpal.
Mother.
It's a good thing I have that luck die.
Yeah,
Oh
you know
my
what?
god, I have a
Luck
luck.
Yep.
I have a luck.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Oh my God.
definitely doing that as well. Okay, there we go. I went from a 4 to a net 20. That's what
Oh
I'm
my
talking about.
fucking god. I rolled 2 natural ones.
Really quick.
You have
Oh
to
my
take
God.
whatever the luck is, right?
No, it's
you can
advantage.
choose either or.
Yeah.
Advantage.
Okay.
It's advantage.
It's still not. It's still just a 9.
Okay. Art, what'd you get?
10. Actually, no, 11. 'Cause
10.
the other one was an 8. So 11. 11.
11. Okay. Gino.
9.
9. Okay. Vale.
That was a net 20.
A nat 20.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gino. I just blanked. What did you say? 9.
9.
9.
Plus 1 if you care. Yeah.
Thea.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And Viago.
2 natural ones, so a 6.
6. So Art, Gino, and Viago, you all suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Great.
So I believe first level of exhaustion, I was about to look it up online, but I have my DM screen right in front of me, is disadvantage on all ability checks.
It does show it on
also-
D&D Beyond too.
It does show on D&D Beyond as well.
Yeah.
I also technically can remove it with my physician's acumen
You can.
if I want to use my healer's kits for it.
Yeah. But other than that, you guys pretty much have the rest of the day, and even, I mean, pretty much at this point, kind of world is your oyster kind of thing. You guys can do whatever you'd like to do. There isn't anything. Yeah.
How much would you like to give that woman? We should go find her.
Oh, I mean, it's just gonna be a little bit of travel. We gotta go ways.
Oh, wasn't it in this town?
No, you guys. It was
Oh.
in the town that you guys started in White Harbor. So you guys do know there are postal services and things of that.
Sure.
The Kantor postal system thrives. The KPS is A-OK.
I'm gonna send you something. I don't want to say it out loud. I'm gonna send you something.
Okay.
So, man, how did things end up shaking up cut wise? Did we all split evenly?
I just
Or
put it in the bag
we-
of holding. I mean, if you want me to split it out, I can.
I'm just gonna take. We got what? We got over 300, right?
No, we got
300 gold.
300 gold. I gave 75 back.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just take 20 of it and put it in a little envelope and make a trip to the post office.
Okay. It's not necessarily. So the post office isn't necessarily the post office. It's more of like at the stables. There's typically somebody you can hire as a courier.
Carrier. Courier.
Yeah, I'm
Courier.
I'm gonna go to the Pony Express.
Okay. The Kantor Pony Service.
Thea, how much should I send her then? Because I'll be going to the Koya as well.
25? I don't know. Is that a lot? Is that too much?
20 is a good amount, yeah.
I can get a little generous. Okay, 20's good.
Okay. I'm probably gonna walk with Gino then, and then go to the. I'm gonna do 2 transactions, and then
Okay.
one to the.
So as you guys go, or as you guys get to the stable, there's a stable hand there. Can I help you, gentlemen, sirs?
Yeah. Just want to make a. Just want to send a little letter. Whatever you've got to. Whatever you make next trip. It's not incredibly urgent. Just whenever you find your way to the address.
Sure.
The area.
Where in particular is yours going?
What did we settle on as the main place for the caravans, the Maravu, like hometown?
Did we say Carthaki Bluffs?
Yes, that's it. It's the
That's it. Okay, cool. I knew it was one that I really, really wanted to world build from, so that works.
It's gonna be the name.
Yeah, Carthaki Bluffs.
Where is that?
Yeah.
Carthaki Bluffs. Oh man, I don't have my map on my.
I do.
I think it's to the east.
It's down to it's the southwest, where the mountains are on the southwest portion. If you go to the hills that are kind of in the center of it, it's right there. Yeah, until we actually get there, that's all I'm saying though.
Mm-hmm.
On the new map, look a lot more vibrant and vivid.
I like it.
Carthaki Bluffs is spelled correctly, Wolf. Thank you.
Is it that's a completely different direction than we're.
That's a completely different direction than you guys were coming from. So you guys were in this kind of in the west center and came northward, and then went a little bit west, but yeah.
Well, the question is wherever that woman is, I want to give that information to this courier, which I'm sure he could swing by and do that, and then do Gino's thing. Are there other couriers? Or
yeah, there's. It's more of like if a courier comes in, they hand it off, or if there's a courier currently in town that can go off and do it, then they do it immediately. It's not necessarily. It's also a convenience thing as well. So if you give them a package and it's like, okay, it's going to this town, if there's somebody that's going to that town, they may hand it off to that specific person. So like, for instance, you know that Tylus in the Growers and Buyers League does a lot of trade with White Harbor, like through White Harbor.
Got it.
So more likely than not, that envelope will end up in Tylus's hand to go back south.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I would give the description and the woman's name for that town for the 20 gold and that package, and then I would also give a second package with other things in it as well.
Okay. Do you write it on the package, or do you tell him, or how do you go about doing that?
I've done this before. What's probably the way that I would have done it before?
Based on the knowledge that I think you want to have, you probably would have disclosed it with the name on the package already, or like
Got
on
it.
the that way you didn't have to verbalize it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would have all that information on there with, no return address or whatever, and just send it
awesome. He kind of nuts. We don't have a courier in right now, but we're expecting somebody to pass through in the next couple of days, so we'll make sure these get passed off and to where they need to be.
Thank you.
All right, no rush.
And he doesn't necessarily he does the whole thing where he's like, "You're welcome."
Tip him a gold.
I'll give him 3. Also, point of order. I am gonna have some sort of cloth or things inside of the package, if that makes sense.
Are they breakable? Are they flammable? Do they contain acid or any dangerous or hazardous materials?
I was like, what are you saying? I'm like, okay, no.
please use the pen and click less or yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Or no.
Yeah, it's more just kind of muffle, to keep things from moving around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. You can do that pretty easily. Yep. So you guys go ahead and do that. Art, Vale, Thea, is there anything you 3 would like to do?
I would like to go to the temple.
Okay. So you kind of follow a couple minutes later after Ross and Alexi. And you go into this temple. The Dawnfather is built how I would imagine most Catholic churches are. So at the far end, there's that stained glass window with a giant sun where the light can just come beaming in the morning, facing westward or eastward. I'm sorry. And there's a small altar, a bunch of pews off to one side. You do notice that the temple also has this kind of attached house look to one side, and you do see the door that goes over there. There is a second smaller door on the left-hand side as well.
Is there anyone in that I see?
Yeah, so there's a couple individuals in the pews, and then you see kneeling at the altar at the far end, you see Father Merrickson. You don't see Alexei anywhere.
As if he's
you don't see Alexei.
So for the father, is he like in prayer? Or is it
I mean, he's kneeling in reflection and contemplation, it looks like. I mean, you can't really tell if he's saying anything from how far back you are, but it looks like he's kneeling at the altar, and kind of similarly to what you did at the altar in White Harbor.
I think I would go up closer, but just sit in a pew and wait until he's done.
It takes a couple minutes, but eventually he stands up and walks over to you. Do you serve the Dawn Father as well?
Oh, no. I'm in this weird sort of limbo about everything, really, and I was just hoping maybe you could answer a few questions.
I can do my best, though.
Could we maybe not talk out here? It's a little nerve-wracking,
yes.
I guess.
Yes. If you'd like, step into my home. I share it with my brother.
Oh, thank you.
And he leads you and ushers you toward the door on the right-hand side that you saw when you walked in. Inside, it's pretty cozy. It's all pretty... It looks like there's two separate rooms that are probably only big enough for beds, like just based on the walls that are built, wherein maybe a small table. But you see a giant bookshelf and a couple desks on one side. The hearth is glowing with fire. There's a small rune circle off to the one side of the room as well. And Alexei is sitting in a chair and reading a book, flipping through a book.
Y'all got a lovely home.
It is what the Dawn Father provided.
Well, it's very quaint. I like it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I guess small talk is just where I go to when I get nervous. I heard a story about someone I knew, and I promised her I'd help them. Is it possible that a god makes a mistake sometimes?
A god? You're not talking about one of the deceivers. You're talking about the Paramount, correct?
I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing. I don't really know.
The good ones or the bad ones?
Good. Good.
Oftentimes what we perceive as the mistake of the gods is a blessing that has not quite revealed itself.
I guess that makes sense, but I guess my concern is that maybe, just maybe, that person will not do what they're supposed to do. They might make a mistake, not do the right thing, or not know what the right thing is. How do they know? How do y'all talk to your... I saw you kneeling there, but is there a better way than that?
Well,
like a letter?
And he lets out this deep just... Well, that's not the right laugh. It's more like, oh. There we go. Well, I am... My brother and I are both believers. And you hear like a little bit of a from Alexei. I am gifted with the ability to I guess understand what my god wishes to bring on the world. Or at least understand his tenets enough to preach them and spread them to others. There aren't many. There are, but there are more believers who do not have such ability.
So if this person doesn't have that ability, they just gotta find someone who does?
No, gods can choose paragons and prophets and those that they believe will hold those tenets true that may not have the same abilities to commune with them that I do. It does not mean that they are any less or more important.
Thank you. That makes sense, actually. But I still don't understand exactly what this person would do.
Roll a deception check at this point, please.
that was a me mistake, but
You've done it a few times and I've let it slide.
No, that was a natural one.
Luck point. Oh god.
Oh, yeah, did I use it? I might have used it. I used it. That's so unfortunate. Well, that's a one.
He walks up and he kind of grabs takes her hand and just gently pats it. I cannot sense which. I know it is not Pelor. I cannot sense which follows you, or which you follow. But if it is meant to be, and you are meant to follow their tenets and their light, any mistake, any choice, any decision, whether it is good or bad, harmful or helpful, is yours and yours alone. They cannot, even though they are powerful, they cannot come over to this plane for very much longer. It is not their time anymore. That is why people like me exist now. But that does not mean that eventually they can't contact you or you cannot contact them. Only time will tell.
I will make sure to tell my friend that. Thank you.
Yes. And he just kind of smiles and gives you like a wink.
Are there any books? I have 2 more questions and I'll be done. I'll be out of your hair. But are there any books I can read about people who may or may not have seen a god or, talked to them or was chosen by them, anything along those lines? Fictional or not?
Unfortunately, here, the only religious books I have are my own personal ones, and they mainly deal with Pelor. The rest of these books here, and he motions to the bookshelves, are of the arcane arts and the studies of my brother.
Oh, wow.
So they would be little use to you. But if you are looking for a place to find the histories and the stories of the gods paramount, go to Gimgalore at the Heart Spring.
That's in town?
No, Gimgalore is it is the first city. It is the one that was built and birthed by the gods paramount to not only give us a place to worship them, but a place that can hold out as the bastion of light across Kantor.
Sounds super casual. I like it. I guess my last question is, I think we're gonna be here for a little while, maybe just another day. I don't like sitting idly around. Is there anything I can do to help around here?
Duh. And he walks over and he grabs, he opens the door and he reaches around to the other side of the door and he pulls out a broom. It's idle work, but it's something.
I am a mighty good broomer person. Thank you. And that's what I'm going to do.
Thanks. Put me on the spot. Let's see. Hang on really quick. Luck point to Thea, inspo to Viago.
Thank you.
Art and Vale. Anything you two would like to do?
So I have a couple of things. First thing being, is there like a bulletin board or anything in town where like, posts for either, like jobs or sightings or anything like that would be?
There's a small one. Yeah, outside of the Shepherd's Crook.
When you say small, are we talking height-wise or size-wise?
Height-wise, it's normal height. Size-wise, it's probably like a little bit bigger than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything of note on it?
Looking at it, there seems to be a dog missing, like one of those missing dog flyers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a what do you call it? A sign or a small little thing for like, if you're hurt or you have anything ails you, seek out Gertrude. And it has like a little thing for like a 2 gold off of this or that or the other thing on it. But other than that, nothing really of like big of note.
Okay. The one for Gertrude, is that like a potion shop, or is she like a doctor, or?
You're not sure. You could ask around if you want.
Okay. Art will look around and see if there's someone that he can ask about this Gertrude.
Go ahead and give me a investigation check.
That's going to be a 14.
Okay. I saw your face and it was super blank. I was like, you rolled a 1. Asking around town, you don't really get a straight answer, but like you're holding the ticket and you're like, hey, like this will get me something. Who's Gertrude? And they're like, oh yeah, go to Gertrude. She'll take care of that for you. Like whatever's wrong, she's got you. She's really good. But you don't really get the vibe of like who she is, but everybody that you talk to points you in the right direction to get to Gertrude's house.
Okay. I knock on the door.
As you do, the door swings open and you're immediately hit with the smell of like 7 different like herbs and spices and all of these things all at once. Like you have lemongrass, lavender, like mint, all that good stuff just wafting in. And inside you see a small table and then what looks to be a small rectangular table, maybe about 4 feet long. And this woman, about middle-aged, she looks to have a bluer tint to her skin, small horns poking up over the top of her head, cloven feet, tail that wraps around her waist. Can I help you?
Yeah, I saw this flyer on the wall and I was curious.
What seems to be the problem with you?
Well, no, I just saw that,
as you say that, you hold up the flyer and she like grabs you by the arm and like leads you in. Come, sit. What seems to be the problem?
Oh,
There must
no
be
problem.
something. She begins to like massage your head and like feel up your shoulders a little, and it's like your brain is very tense and your shoulders feel like you carry a great weight. Inspo to Vale, and a luck point to you, Art.
Thank you.
1 second. And she goes behind this counter and starts pulling out these tiny vials. And she pulls out one and opens up. Here, take this. And she like shoves it in your nose. And like you get immediately like hit with the smell of like tea tree oil or and then she's like, and 1 more second. And she pulls another one and you waft in, and this time you have to cough as like the mint goes up into the back of your throat, like, and scratch it. Like it's like irritating almost. That should be better. And go ahead and make a Constitution save throw for me.
That'll be a 17.
17. So you feel like you want to do a combination of like crying and vomit, like just like it immediately makes your eyes water to the point of tears, and like you're like coughing and choking on the flavors that are now in the back, like sitting in the back of your throat. But you compose yourself enough, and she sits down across from you and takes your hands and starts to like pinch and prod like very painfully into them. At the different pressure points in your hand to the point where like she's going in between the fingers, all that stuff. How do you feel?
Confused.
Well, in the matter of a few minutes, you should be feeling a lot more relieved. And I see you have the coupon. Thank you. And she takes the coupon. Now that will be the price of the tea tree, the price of the mint, the hand massage, and the puncture therapy. It will be 10 gold pieces, please.
What am I paying for exactly?
Also here, if you seem very you know what? I'll make you the deal. Here, if you take this, and she pulls out a crate. If you sell these, if you give me 5 more gold, you can take these and you can sell them to whoever you want, and they're there to help improve the livelihood. See, look, you have this is your tea tree extract, your mint, your lavender, your baby oil, all this other good stuff. And if you take it and you sell it to other people and you show them how good it works, they will believe you, and you will also get some more money. But it'll cost you 5 gold on top of the 10 that I'm charging you for all this named product.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd want a monthly one of these boxes to sell to people, I can do that to you for an additional 10 gold a month. And if you refer people to me, that'll take 5 gold off of your monthly boxes, and you'll get 2 gold from any boxes that they get a month.
Oh my god.
That's where I draw the line, because that's all I know about these things.
This is a D&D pyramid scheme, and I love it.
Just saw the ad for the Unwell thing on Netflix, and I was just like, cool, there's nothing going on right now. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Art is going to attempt to, again, subtly drop that pot of grubs.
Oh. You have a pot of grubs, and do you have 2 of them? You have the skunk, you have the pot of grubs.
Mm-hmm.
You have the wasp. Oh, no, you use the wasp.
The wasp
okay.
we used.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check, please.
I still have disadvantage, right?
Correct.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm gonna... So, how does luck work for disadvantage?
Luck would replace your lowest roll. Since you have advantage or you have disadvantage, it would replace whichever roll is the lowest.
Cool. So let me double check what my sleight of hand is real quick. I'm still pretty sure I'm going to use that inspiration regardless. Yeah, I'm using that inspiration regardless.
Okay.
This is every single time I've rolled inspiration, it has been a 1. So that's cool. So that comes out to a 11.
11. Fortunately, she's not super insightful. but you drop the thing of grubs, and you watch as they start to crawl around, slowly start to crawl across the floor. She doesn't seem to notice.
Yeah, what on earth are those?
What do you... Oh my... And she starts stamping them out with her... I am so sorry. Actually, she grabs a couple of them and starts to, like, squeeze out their innards and, like, put it in a jar. This grub extract will be really good for your skin if you rub it on it. Or you could sell it.
I am sorry. No, I cannot have anything to do with this establishment. This is just, I can't even, And he's just going to walk out the door.
Okay.
Give me a performance check.
With disadvantage still?
Oh, God.
Yes, because you're still
exhausted. All that treatment and massaging didn't even remove his exhaustion.
God damn it, I can't even... Curse my honesty. The first one was an 18, the second one was a 1.
Curse my honesty.
So as you attempt to like throw it and storm out, you hear I'll reduce it to 5 gold because of the grubs, but you still need to pay before you can leave.
You better Yelp about this.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, Kantor Yelp is kelp.
You better kelp.
Art would like to attempt another sleight of hand.
Okay. Go ahead.
He is going to take one of the wax candles that he has in his pocket, and he is going to touch it and get it to emit the sound of a rat squeaking.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Still with disadvantage.
Okay, so that'll be a 14.
14. So you rub the candle very discreetly, and she doesn't seem to notice, and you hear that in the corner, like coming from, and she like looked at it. Oh, shit. And you like watch as she pulls out this little like cudgel and starts looking around the floor for a rat.
As she is distracted, I skedaddle out of there.
Okay. That's not a D20. Yeah, you have no problem skedaddling out of there.
Okay.
And as she is like looking for this rat in the room.
Well, that was a waste of time.
I don't know what you're talking
Art,
about.
you kind of just skedaddle around town. Vale, anything you'd like to do?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Art, did you have one more thing?
No, she can do her thing first. My one thing is hopefully less involved this time, but yeah.
So Vale was very upset with the whole situation with these Russian mobsters, or whatever you want to call them.
One of them is a priest, and the other one is super wise.
They just have
The other
Russian
one is
accent,
what?
right?
They just have Russian accents. Not all Russians are mobsters, guys.
No, but I mean, they did try to, send us into danger and not compensate for us. She really is very distrustful of that whole situation, and would very much like to learn more about these people, and would probably do so by skulking around and trying to suss out where it is they have some sort of, I don't know, headquarters or meeting room.
The brothers were the two that you and Art had met and who kind of directed you. Alexei being part of the Malthier Collective, and then Ross being a brother, a brother of the Church of Pelor, of the Dawnfather. But these were the two, and you can freely go to their home. You've been there already. They've welcomed you. They've welcomed you enough. Whether or not you want to do that discreetly, climb through a window or something like that, is completely up to you. Or if you want to openly go to talk to them.
No, I would like to do it discreetly.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, please.
Okay. 14 plus 21.
21. So, kind of staking out the window to their home, the home portion of the temple. You watch and wait until the two of them get up at some point and leave the chamber.
Okay.
You can open up the window ever so quietly, climb through the window. It's one of those ones where it's like maybe about a foot tall, but like 2 or 3 feet wide. But you're a cat, so that's not a problem. Yeah. But you are now in Alexi and Rost's main chamber of their home that's attached to the Temple of Power.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely sneak around and see if I can find stuff. See if I can overhear conversations.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay. I am going to add one of my inspo to that. Okay. 15.
15. So looking around in Rast's room, or in one of the rooms, it's pretty simply, the bed is pretty simply made. On the table there, you see a book that has the symbol of the Dawn Father on the front, and flipping through it doesn't seem to be anything more than, a prayer book or some sort of book about the teachings of the Dawn Father. Checking out the other room, you see it's more elegantly fashioned. The bed has some finer sheets and linen on them. There's an art piece on the wall. There's a nice candelabra on the nightstand, but not anything really of note that you can see in that room. So you head out and you start looking around at the bookshelves and the desks. And when you're looking at the desks, the one that you can easily identify as Alexi's, you kind of go to and you start flipping through some of the papers that are on there. And the one, maybe about 2 or 3 pieces of paper down that really pops out to you is a piece that is describing essentially that the wolves aren't actually talking wolves. It looks like a correspondence between Alexi and probably Delilah. I think that was her name. Delilah? Yeah. Delilah from the Malthair Collective.
Archmage Delilah.
Archmage Delilah.
Okay.
Looking at it, it details pretty much what you guys have described, how these kobolds, how the talking wolves weren't wolves, so it wasn't any sort of arcane find that could be brought back to the Malthair Collective or to Delilah. How the kobolds were led by some sort of smarter and more intelligent kobold who apparently wanted to poison the Welton well, but the group that consisted of, and it specifically names you, Vale, and Art, along with, it doesn't name Thea and Viago and Nessa and Gino, but the 2 you sent with the others that we compiled managed to deal with this threat and eradicating them, or at least driving them deep enough where they're not going to be a problem anymore. And blah 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 blah. They're both at the bottom. You see, both of these individuals are good candidates to continue with their training.
Okay.
Other than that, there's not anything that really sticks out to you as kind of shady or cutthroat.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Ooh. Yay. 21.
21. You hear from the door that you would imagine leads into the temple, the sound of two voices, both of them thick Russian accents, arguing in some language that you're not quite sure about. Actually, what languages do you know?
That is a good question. What languages do I know? Not much. Common, Elvish, and Thieves' Cantrip.
Common, Elvish, and what was the last one?
Just the Thieves' Cant.
Thieves' Cant. So yeah, you don't understand it, but at the very end, you hear beef stew.
It's got to be Russian.
And then you hear something. Then you hear somebody go, "Da." And
Okay.
it seems like they're getting closer to the door.
Okay. I am going to, I'm going to keep the little journaling thing I found because I'm going to share it with the others. And she's just going to try and just go back out a window or something.
Give me another stealth check.
Yay! 22.
22. You successfully climb out, your tail and the latch behind you closing as the door opens, and Rast and Alexei come in. You quickly go and join back with the rest of the group. Art will do your second thing now, and then we'll get back to the whole group back together.
So the second thing, Art was going to try to... This shop was obviously not going to accomplish what he was originally going for. Is there somewhere around town where they would sell, like, potions or ingredients or something along those lines?
Looking around, there's a small general store, but other than that, you don't see any buildings that would indicate an alchemist shop of any kind.
Okay, then he walks into the general store.
Inside, you see a human man, and just at this point, just kind of going through the wares that he has on the counter in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, little guy. How can I help you?
Hi. Do you have any flasks?
Yeah, I got quite a few. What? Sure. How many do you need?
I mean, couple.
I mean, okay. And he takes a couple off the shelf. He goes and grabs a couple off the shelves. This one's a nice, it's very just iron with a nice leather wraparound. This one is platinum. This one over here is just a straight up iron one, no leather. I can take the leather strap off of the iron one and put it on the platinum one if you want. And then I got a couple of just dented and dinged up ones that I wouldn't bother showing you.
Can I see the bent up and dinged up ones?
Sure. And like he goes and he grabs a couple. Like it looks like there's like just like a shit bin, and he goes and he grabs this shit bin, and not actual shit, guys. Come on. But he starts to pull out a couple of these flasks that he has in there. And they're dinged up, they're scratched, some of them have rust around the bottom rim of it, the bottom corners. But there's a plethora of them there. Probably about 5 or 6 in total.
Do any of them in particular stand out?
Make a investigation check. Are you looking for magical, or are you looking for something specific?
Just any old flask, but just
Okay.
I wasn't sure if there was one that had any sort of any special markings, or if one happened to be like particularly beat up, or just something fancy about it. The lowest of those two would be a 14.
14. So there's one that's it's so rusted that you can't see what's underneath. Like the rust covers pretty much almost all of it. The other one etched into it is a wolf howling at a moon.
Ooh.
That one also is pretty dented and beat up.
Grabbing the one with the wolf howling into the moon. How much for this one?
Well, in the state that it's in, I'd say maybe a gold piece at the most.
Okay. Well, I also have this. I'm not sure if this applies to anything at all. And Art would like to take out of his pocket, what was it? The Shimmering Lure discount card that he got a while back. However, on the way out, he would like to touch it and have the text changed to the name of the shop.
Okay. You can definitely have done that. Sure. And he looks and goes, okay. I don't know an Ambrose Milano. But yeah, no, this isn't gonna be any good here.
Oh. Well, that's a disappointment. 1 gold, you said?
Yeah.
I mean, all right, fine. I suppose, yeah, okay. I'll pay a gold for this.
Cool. So you hand him a gold. Thank you very much. He hands you back your coupon.
Thank you.
Yeah. You continue. And anything else I can help you with, or are you?
Nope, I'm good, thank you. And then once he leaves the shop, there are 2 last things that he wants to do. The first thing being, as soon as he leaves the shop, he wants to cast Mending on the flask.
Okay. So you cast Mending. You spend it's
a minute, I think.
Yes, a minute on it. As you're walking around, you can concentrate while you're walking. And you watch as the dents kind of just pop out and the rust starts to fade.
Cool. And after that looks all, nice and pristine and brand new, he puts it in his pocket. And the last thing that he wants to do, remembering the tiff that was going on earlier, Art feels a little bit bad, especially for Thea, and didn't really mean to upset her during that exchange. So he's going to find a bench somewhere that he can sit down, rifle through his things, and find that packet of red dye that Gino gave him. He'd like to try and see if he can replicate that, but in blue.
Okay. Go ahead using your... Do you have alchemist supplies or tinker tools?
I know I have tinker tools. I have proficiency in alchemist supplies. I don't know if I actually have them. I don't think I do.
My alchemist supplies would be in the wagon.
You would know where that is at, so you can go there.
Although, or that's true. I mean, I guess here's the question: how long are we staying apart from each other? Because I could take an hour and just make alchemist tools.
You probably would have some time to make those.
Okay.
Between everything that everybody else is doing, yeah.
As a level 3 artificer, I can find the right tool for the job.
Cool. So it takes you an hour, and you just magically have alchemist tools.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So scrounging around, you find little bits and pieces everywhere. You do go to Gino's cart at one point to probably steal a tool here and there, but overall, you managed to compile a fairly decent set of alchemist tools. Okay. And then go ahead and give me a intelligence check with proficiency for using your alchemy tools to try to reconcoct this powder.
Is this still a disadvantage?
This is still a disadvantage because...
God damn it, because I just rolled a natural 20. So what's the modifier? I'm sorry, intelligence and proficiency?
Intelligence plus proficiency.
So that'll be plus 4, plus... that'll be 6, so that'll come out to 18.
18. Yeah, I mean, it takes you a handful of minutes until, takes you the first couple minutes, you're like, okay, how do I get it to turn blue? And you finally, it clicks, and you go right to work, and it only takes you a matter of probably another couple minutes to successfully create a second version of this powder, but in blue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so once that is accomplished, he is going to rifle through more of his belongings and find that pouch of shells that Viago had given him.
Okay.
And see if he has anything. You said that he had about 40 gold worth of junk. Would any of that happen to include something like string?
Yes, you can have you have 40 gold worth of crafting supplies.
Great.
There's string there.
So, utilizing the shells and the string and the now blue powder, he is going to attempt to fabricate together essentially a crafted shell necklace.
Are you making a macaroni necklace with glitter?
Well, shells, not glitter, but yes.
So yeah, sprinkling the blue on, and go ahead and make a Tinker Tool check. So investigation or intelligence plus your proficiency. That's the word.
Still with disadvantage.
Correct.
Oi.
Hey, it's the thought that counts, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and use my last luck die on this because that was a 3, and that's unacceptable.
All right.
Actually, wait, no. It just makes you take the higher one, right?
It'll replace the
Lower
worst
one with the
number.
higher one.
Yes.
All right, because I think the higher one was a 12, which would plus what? What is my modifier?
Intelligence and your proficiency.
Okay, so plus 6 again. So 12 6, 18.
18. Yeah, you successfully craft this beautiful shell necklace. You take the time to use some of your tinkering tools to drill the holes into the shells without cracking them, throwing splashes of this blue powder here and there to make it really sparkle and glow. And you successfully create this shell necklace for Thea.
Great. Satisfied with his work, he'll put it in his pocket and rejoin the group.
Awesome. And as you all kind of take Gino and Viago, we'll get back to you guys in the intermittent right after this, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, and anything Gino and Viago want to do to catch up to the timeline of Vale, Thea, and Art, they're more than welcome to. But yeah, exclamation point raffle. We're going to give away some more dice from Slayers. Or no, we're going to give away coffee from... Did you already do it? Or are you... Yeah, we'll give away coffee.
I did, but I don't think it worked.
Oh, okay. It didn't work.
We'll send a cup of hot brewed coffee straight to your house.
We'll send a cup of hot brewed dice straight to your house. Crush them up and make a powder, and there you go. Whatever solo pops up is what we're going to give away.
I think it says Torque. It says Torque T-shirt because technical difficulties, but it's coffee.
Eric, if you're here, you're giving away a shirt. Congratulations.
Steeped dice soup sounds just about the most disgusting thing I can think of.
No, we'll give away some coffee today.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, see you in a few. Congratulations, Wolf. Message me at some point tonight or this weekend, and I will make sure that your coffee gets sent to you, and all that other good stuff, so you can live on the caffeine high that I've been living for the past 3 days. And I'm sure Chris London wishes that he does, because I don't think you technically drink coffee.
I don't. I drink a lot of Runa.
A lot of what?
Runa. It's a plant-based, natural, caffeinated tea. It's like coffee.
Shut off the stream. He said plant.
It's like coffee for druids.
I'm kidding.
Druid.
The Dwarven Forge office is just like obsessed with it, so it's always like massively stocked. So that's just what I go to.
Interesting. Yeah. Does it have caffeine or anything like that? Okay, we're getting.
They use the guayusa leaf to make their stuff. There's a whole pitch on the can. I can't remember it at the moment.
All right. Anyway, now that we're back, Gino, Viago, you guys have a little bit of time before everybody gets back together. If there's anything you'd like to do,
I've been carving something out of wood.
Okay.
I'm gonna take care of my horse and my clothes.
Awesome.
He's probably he's got a lot of dust from the travels. My clothes are probably like ripped up and everything. So like I'm probably spent the day just like ironing them out, like trying to get rid of any stains or anything, patch up any holes, make sure my horse looks presentable, all that stuff.
Awesome. At noon around, you guys all kind of separately have your lunch meal. The afternoon winds on. Couple hours before dusk, as you guys are all starting to kind of get bored and congregate back together, you notice a handful of wagons start to roll into town.
Do these wagons look like caravan wagons? Like, do these look like wagons associated with my people?
For the sake of this, I was going to think of a different terminology, but I thought of nothing that was no. That's not good. I was going to think of a new name for what Marabou caravans would be called, but then my mind went blank the second I thought of that thought. No, it is not a Marabou caravan.
Horse trains.
I was going to call it a grand caravan, and then I realized that sounds fucking dumb.
That's a Jeep car, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a Jeep. No, that's a Grand Cherokee.
It's amazing. Oh, God.
This is what happens at 10:30 at night. But no, it's... a
large Marabou Ford Taurus comes rolling through town.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Gino, I have an idea. Now hear me out. No.
Yes.
No, but it's a caravan. It's not. It's just a typical trade caravan. It's not a Marabou one.
These guys are worse. All right.
You watch as they all kind of dehorse or debuggy and God damn it!
All right. It was nice having horses while it lasted.
just cutting as I'm They all get off their carts. Leading the no, Diane, I'm not okay. They get off their carts and wagons, take their horses, bring them to the stable to get penned up for the night. And then the majority of them head into the Shepherd's Crook.
Is that the inn that we're staying at?
Yeah, the Shepherd's Crook is the inn and tavern. You guys pretty much have the night on the house. You won't have to pay for it.
Do I notice anything interesting in particular as they bring their horses in and I'm prettying up aggro?
As you're prettying up aggro, you do notice that a couple of them from your travels, you do notice a couple of them from the town of Driston, which is a few days ride east of where you guys are currently.
Okay. Interesting. But they just, it seems like business as usual. None of them look like
They look fine. Looking, and the rest of you guys looking at some of the people getting off the wagons and walking into the inn. A lot of them look like they're tired. Their shoulders, kind of are sunken down, and they're almost like they're just very slowly and like dragging their feet toward the inn. Like they've been on the road for a while or something.
Okay. Long day's journey. I got nothing. So.
What would you all like to do?
As soon as I can, like, I'm just gonna give myself busy work to like preserve my image as much as possible until it's time to sleep, and then I'm gonna go crash hard.
Okay. So you guys take the rest of the afternoon and the evening, meeting up finally for dinner, and as you guys are all kind of sitting huddled up at one of the tables, eating and enjoying the meal. It's a nice roasted boar that you're presented with a little bit of broth that goes along with it. You overhear some of these newcomers to town talking with the three gentlemen that you met in the morning earlier that day. At one point, you guys all overhear one of the gentlemen, which Gino, you don't know him by name, but you've recognized him from Driston. I'm just saying, the town is under siege of sorts. We can use knights of your stature to go defend it. I don't know how much coin the mayor has. And as he kind of stops with the coin, the dwarfs. No, we're going north. There's pressing matters to the north. Demon Gate is open, and we're going to stop the spawn from spreading.
That does sound pretty important.
And you watch as his body just kind of slumps. He's like, all right, I mean, we're heading to Deepwell. The caravan is. That's the only, other than here, but I don't think you have homes or places to stay. None of us want to stay there any longer. So we're going to head somewhere where we can hopefully get a new start. And he goes back and sits down. And
Logan.
Yes.
Is Drisden on our trade route at all?
Drisden would be, Welton and Drisden are both on the trade route, but they're small. Drisden's a town where Welton is a village. You wouldn't necessarily hit Drisden often, but you know that, or at least heard that it's not a super wealthy town. Even though it's larger than Welton is probably wealthier than Drisden is. It's very ran down. It's very poorly ran and managed. And there's your people don't normally go there. Maybe if you're close on a night where you have some leftovers that you want to trade just to get rid of, you'd probably stop there. But in general, it's you're kind of avoided.
Okay. I'm gonna And we all heard this conversation.
Yes.
Well, you guys
Yes, Wolf, like Peoria. If you're from Illinois and you know what I'm talking about, yes. It is Peoria.
Well, that doesn't sound very good. Cool.
It's not.
I wonder who Drisden would have gotten on the bad side of. Seems like a fairly unimportant place to put under siege.
Where's Drisden at? Art says as he is, smothering butter on his boar and dipping it in the broth and stuffing his face.
Yeah, it's a few days from here. Just sort of a town a lot like this one, but not as well off. I'm not entirely sure why all these small places keep getting into trouble like this.
think there? Excuse me. Do you think there might be any connection?
Well, it's possible, but it's hard to tell without us going there. I'm not entirely sure. Well, look, it'd at least be nice to know what's going on over there. I'm gonna push myself out from the table and head over to one of the saggy dudes that's talking about this. You know, the merchants that are tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, I'm hearing there's problems in Dresden, or am I putting 2 and 2 together incorrectly?
Problems. I mean, yeah, they've been reoccurring, and it's been going on and off for, I don't know, as long as I can remember.
So this isn't necessarily. Is this actually a siege, or is that just an expression you're using?
It's an expression. It's not actually a siege. No, I guess it's really not.
Well, so what is it that's happening? You say, is it not safe for caravans? I assume there's a reason you guys aren't heading there.
There's have you ever heard of the fall of Morlock?
That's an excellent question from my DM.
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Is this conversation like loud being overheard, or
it's
is
happening somewhat loud enough where if you guys wanted to roll a history check as well to see what you knew?
You know, I
love that Vorpal sign.
Right?
I'm not even gonna bother. Yeah, I'm not gonna use my for that. I'll take the straight 17 and let that boy's critical carry us through.
Okay.
Although technically,
oh, we're at disadvantage. That's right.
although 18's not bad either.
Yeah, we haven't taken a long rest yet, right?
You know, I got a 17.
Yeah, you guys haven't taken a long rest yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a 17 on both rolls.
Okay. So Art and Gino, you would know Art having kind of hopped in and out of libraries and picking up books here and there. Gino from your travels. The once small and the once fledgling kingdom of Morlock was centered off of the lake that Thea and Viago, you guys traveled through, Morlock Lake, Morlock Lock, or Morlock, I guess. The inlet that proceeds to the east of it leads to a city with a small keep at the top of the mountain, or on the side of the mountain. At one point or another within history, Siri, why are you? My phone's literally spitting that back at me. At one point or another, the town, or the city, and the king that resided there tried to expand, and when he tried to expand, the city fell. Not much is known about that. What you guys do know is that some sort of undead pierced the heart of the city, and a plague sprouted there until the city pretty much wasn't heard from again.
Oh.
Dresden, the remnants of there were those who fled to Dresden.
So you're saying,
and created that town there.
so what you're saying is there's a plague breaking out. Is it illness?
Some of us were getting sick and turning. Sometimes the dead would just walk into town and take who they wanted. The mayor hired a small group to man Helm's Hold, which is about a couple hours away and in between Dresden and Morlock. But they don't seem to be doing a very good job of protecting or being the shield that the mayor and the town wanted.
Art hobbles off the table and walks a little bit closer after hearing this as he perks up a little bit. When you say they got sick, what do you mean?
Whether they were carved from the sword or bitten or die really of natural causes, it's almost as if there's a curse that lays on the land and they rise as things that aren't themselves.
Just for clarification, DM, this is sounding nothing like the poison that we were dealing with before.
Correct.
I thought that whole plague business went to bed with Morlock, but this is lining up almost exactly with the symptoms. Yes.
When the plague ended when the gates were shut from the inside and those of us fled to Dristan. However, there were still dead inside of the walls. And we suspect that the remnants of the curse of Morlock is slowly trickling out to us.
If it got out, that means that it can keep traveling and keep going further if something isn't done about it. It's also moving closer to here, and if it continues through here, it starts moving closer to the Karthaki Bluffs.
We've done a good enough job, the militia on top of the small group that's at Helm's Hold, we've done a good enough job of making sure it hasn't spread. I mean, we don't know where it's gone other than toward us. That doesn't mean that it hasn't spread elsewhere, but those that do come into the town of Dristan are dealt with and taken care of pretty effectively. But again, we don't know what's deeper in, and we don't know how many there are.
Well, that's I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like a lot to deal with.
Well, it's not our problem anymore. We're going to Davenport, and we're going to hopefully have enough money in my carts to sell, and then whatever we have left, we can grace one of the guilds with to take us in and give us work.
This illness, does it have a gradual effect, or does it take place all at once?
It's really sporadic. Some turn almost instantly. Some have been in the ground for years and have just now risen.
Well, it's a shame to have something like that in these lands. Unfortunately, it sounds like it may be less of an actual illness and something more magical in nature. But well, I hope some help can be found. It's a shame that our heroes seem to have other plans. Just kind of like cast a glance at those three and kind of head back to the table.
Okay. When you go to lift up your head and like you nod directly at them, the dwarf is staring you right in your eyes. And when you have land and you have an oath to keep, then I see. Then you'll be talking. And he kind of spits. And
I have no interest in responding. Yeah, I'm just heading back. I don't even like look at like. I just let them keep talking as I just walk away. Like I don't. Yeah.
Art walks up to the the one who was telling us this story, hands him one of his sticks of butter. Sorry for your troubles. This always makes me feel better. And then he walks back to the table.
He looks at it and it's just kind of like, it's very. And like you watch as thank you as he's wiping it off onto a plate that has a second stick of butter on it, and then like taking his hand and like rubbing it on his shirt to get the butter off of his hand.
Hey, this looks like the same kind of butter. What's going on?
God almighty.
Are we now?
Vale, as you're sitting there enjoying dinner, you hear a message in your head. I believe you may be able to find something that was stolen from my room. You can respond to this message.
This message will self-destruct.
I hope not. It's literally inside her head.
Oh God. After some time of not responding, if you do not know where you can find this, then find it for me, and you will be rewarded. You may respond to this message. Vale, that was you.
That was me?
Yeah, that was you.
Oh my God. I was like so enthralled with everything. I was just like, what? Okay. Sorry.
So he asked you to find the letter, or asked you if you knew where to find the letter, and then asked you if you didn't know where to find it and bring it back.
Yes. It seems that this is where my journey is going to take me right now. I will do what I can to track down this for you.
You guys all hear her talking, by the way.
I'll
She's not
find
used to
what?
Are
I was
you...
like- So I wasn't just seeing that. That was not.
No, like you watch as she kind of speaks a little and is like,
That was not a symptom of my exhaustion.
to your knowledge, no.
What?
Art kind of shuffles up to Vale. Are you talking to someone?
Does she know that they don't notice? Or
Yeah, like you verbally, like you thought it, but you verbally spoke it. Like you haven't had enough, not necessarily practice, but like to somebody who hasn't experienced the message spell or the sending spell before, or very often, the first couple times that gets thrown through your head, eventually you know to respond telepathically, but like the first couple instincts is for you to just speak out loud.
gotcha. No, I was, just thoughts in my head were coming out. Did I say that out loud? Didn't realize I was doing that.
You sounded like you were talking to someone. Also, do I believe her?
Roll a Vorpal Deception and roll a Vorpal Insight. Art.
With my amazing charisma. Wait, what is my charisma? Hey, that's a good roll.
Roll the 19.
Plus, deception. No modifier, so that's a straight up 19.
Insight for me is going to be a 15.
15. Yeah, you believe her.
Okay.
It's been a really long couple of days. And I spent so much time by myself that I often talk out loud.
Yeah,
to myself.
That makes sense. I often talk to myself out loud whenever I'm working on my projects.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's nice to be able to just kind of hear the voice, so that you don't just kind of get lost in the silence of your head. Because sometimes you get just kind of lost in your thought, and then you just start having a conversation. And man, I'm still really hungry. I should go eat.
You should do that, little one.
So are you saying you want to go on this, figure it out? What journey are you talking about?
Just some thoughts that I've had. There's some things that I need to do.
They're a band I'm really into. Thought I'd follow them around.
Wait, are you going somewhere?
Yeah. I think it's time that I do.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't see why that's a problem.
Art saunters on back over to her, a little bit less enthusiastically this time, and just sort of like gently taps her on the shoulder and kind of like indicates like a follow me this way sort of thing.
She goes with him.
Starts rifling through his pockets. I haven't really had much time to finish researching on this. I'm not sure I was able to get you the answers you were looking for. He's holding the collar you gave him in his hand.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I thank you for trying.
Well, if you're...
I think these are answers I need to find for myself now.
Okay, well, you should still take it with you then.
And she'll take it back.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if this was something didn't want. Yeah.
No, it's definitely something I need to hold on to. Eventually, I'm going to find the person who made it. And make sure they can't do anything like this again.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And she's tuck the collar in her bag. And, start walking.
Where do you go?
I mean, do I know?
I mean, you have the letter that Alexei is talking about.
Right.
That he does want back, or want you to find and bring back to him.
Right. So, but do I know how to get to him?
Yeah, he's in the temple. Like that.
Oh,
They live in that little the place.
Oh
yeah.
Sorry, geography. Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna make my way to the temple.
Okay, so you head in. The temple's empty. Rast nowhere to be seen. But you go to the door that you guys head in. That leads into their home. You being you, just walk in.
Yeah.
You see Alexei and Ross both sitting at the small table in the center, eating what looks like some sort of beef stew. That was quick. Did you find what I asked you?
I did. Tell me what you need it for.
Well, it was a letter to my superior that I wished to be delivered. I was going to take it there in the morning.
And she's gonna take it out and hand it to him.
He pulls out from his sleeve a bag of coin and hands it to you.
Okay.
About 10 or 15 in there.
Okay.
I am going to be, I don't know if you read this, but I'm going to be recommending you and your little goblin friend to become more involved with Delilah's plans.
And I'm gonna. I'm not gonna tell him about the book. I mean, she obviously read it. So what are these plans?
I do not know. Delilah and the Maltier Collective work on a very need-to-know basis. But I think your skill set would be an asset for her.
As long as it's not something that I disagree with.
That is fair. You know what? It is not too late. Delilah likes her surprises. Why don't we go now?
All right.
I'll talk to the goblin when I return. And he begins to walk out. He walks over to that circle and he starts carving in the runes. And when they all light up, he motions you to step inside.
Mm-hmm.
And as the two of you step inside, there's a quick flash of light. And you find yourself in Delilah's chambers. And that's where we're going to take another quick break. Hashtag No, not hashtag. Exclamation point. Raffle. I don't know. It's
Oh my god, it still says Torque shirt. It's a video game raffle, guys. Video games.
It's a Torque shirt, guys.
Everybody tweet hashtag raffle. Let's get it trending.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
let's go.
If we do hashtag raffle so long. Yeah.
Hashtag raffle is going to be a great way to not get entered into the raffle.
All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Be back in a couple minutes. Congratulations, Cap'n _Squirrel.
Love it.
Squirrel.
You have won the raffle of a thing. Please message Chris Solo on our Discord, which he'll put in the bloopity bloop down below or over there or wherever it's at, to get there and talk to him. So, after Vale left the inn, you all settle kind of in the quietness of just not knowing, and the silence of the group as you finish your meal weighs heavy on you all. You all get a shat. No, I'm kidding. Wrong game.
Oh my God, that's Sunday. I do want to do something before we go to sleep, by the way.
Okay. But if there's anything else you like to do before you guys do go to sleep and we take a long rest, please do so now.
I'm going to notice that Art's super sad, and it just works out nice. So I'm going to walk up to him. You're going to see Viago a little different than you normally see him. Like, he's going to look a little shy.
Giving him fan fiction fodder.
Art, I'm sorry that your friend left. And I'm gonna reach in my bag. I made you this, and I'm gonna hand him. It's a little wooden carved figurine of Colonel Mac. The thing that
Colonel Mac.
The thing that he gave back to the temple people.
Okay.
And it's pretty good, I would say. I mean, unless you want me to roll like a performance check, but I think I'm pretty good at the whittling thing.
Roll a wood cover check. No, I'm kidding. You're all right. I'll give this one to you.
Okay.
Thank you. No one's ever given me a gift before.
Now Dobby is free.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
Art runs out the door and is gone forever. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I've kind of grown fond of you all. And as Thea knows, I keep my friends close. So I know you lost a friend, but you have 4 more over here as well.
Thank you. Art kind of goes over to him and, because of how tall he is, basically ends up hugging his calf.
I mean, let's be real, like ankle, maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, sure. Either way. I'm
going to pick you up if you come close to a hug.
I'm glad we can be friends. I'll have to,
Me too.
I'll have to come up with some ideas now.
What have I done?
Once this exchange finishes, Art's going to make his way over to Thea. I know things didn't go so well earlier, and, well, I want to keep my friends, so here. And he hands you the necklace that he made earlier, which is a blue shell necklace.
Art, this is beautiful. Is it for me? Keep?
Well, you said you like things that are blue and happy, so thought maybe.
I honestly can't remember you said that. Can't believe you remember I said that. And she's gonna put it on. Is there a clasp, or is it like, I don't know, I just did the clasp, sorry.
It's definitely very, I mean, it's the shells themselves are intricate. I'm gonna guess that the string itself is pretty simple, like just like a basic tie.
Okay, cool. I know sometimes I can be a little stubborn. I don't think any less of you for wanting to take care of yourself. I just think sometimes it's easy to get swept up by that. But, you ain't gonna lose me. I'm sticking around. I hope. God willing.
Yeah. I've been alone for a little while, so nice to have friends.
I'm sorry about Vale.
Well, she had to do what she had to do.
Yeah. But I mean, now you got a skunk though too, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh! I haven't fed her. Oh my god!
I love how concerned he is.
Because he hasn't fed her in like a whole 2 hours at this point. So
I think she'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna hit the hay, but I'll see you tomorrow. If
Sleep
you need
well.
anything, just knock a couple times on my door.
Thank you. And as soon as this is done, Art goes and finds Darkal and makes sure that he finds some more scraps of food to feed her.
Yeah, you can take some of what was left over on your plate and feed her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're the fattest skunk ever.
As night settles and you guys all go to your respective rooms. Gino, do you go to your cart? Do you sleep in your cart or do you sleep in the inn?
I go to the cart for like an hour. I got
Yeah.
some stuff to do in there. I'm going to be checking some maps and looking at some logs.
Okay. So the three of you all head to your respective rooms. There aren't many being rented out, so you guys have the opportunity to have your own beds in your own rooms, your own privacy for the night, for the first time in a few days, or a couple days. You guys have only met like a day and a half ago. That's weird. It's felt like years, guys.
It has.
Gino, you head back to your cart, climb on in. What would you like to do?
I want to cross-reference. I want to cross-reference like what. So I keep like a lot of like medical journals and stuff like that. I want to cross-reference as much as possible the symptoms that we're hearing about spreading here, and cross-reference the. I want to cross-reference it with the symptoms and stuff that happened in the Catharki Bluffs like a decade ago.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a medicine check. Oh, I like that. To the best of your knowledge, what happened in the Carthaki Bluffs was an isolated incident. There hasn't been any medical traces outside of that. You're also, after hearing the Marabu, while cultured and knowledgeable, are also, to an extent, I would imagine, being travelers of the world, also superstitious and kind of weird, like just wary of things.
Mm-hmm.
The way that Dristan and Morlock and the plague that's spreading there, that little bit of that superstitious like ping in the back of your head is like, well, you really want to believe that this is medical and it could be solved with, herbal remedies or natural remedies that you can make. But in the back of your head, you get that slight apprehension of like, well, what if it's a curse?
Yeah.
And that just little bit of that is coming out, and you're not quite sure which to believe at the moment unless you actually see it and try it. You're not sure. Scientific principle kind of stays firm. But you do have that slight feeling of this sounds kind of spooky.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, once I confirm that stuff, I'm gonna head up to the room.
Cool. So you head to your room. At some point during the night, Art, you hear a knock on your door.
How late into the night is this?
Maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night.
And like, what time did we turn in? Like,
You guys probably turned in right as the sun was setting because y'all had a long day.
Okay, just trying to gauge like if I was like asleep or if I might have still been up.
No, I mean you may have been kind of laying in bed just relaxing, but I would imagine you were probably just starting to hit REM.
Gotcha. Confused, he's gonna walk over the door. And are these like normal size height doors, or is this something that I'm gonna have to like struggle to open?
No, doors are doors. You can reach the.
Okay,
can reach
okay.
the top latch.
Just checking.
These are human-sized doors.
All right. Yeah, okay. He's gonna open the door. Hello?
On the opposite side, you see Avi. Hi. I was hoping we could talk for a minute.
Okay. He'll open the door and gesture for her to come in.
I wanted to I wanted to apologize for how I treated you when you all came into town.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know that there was anything wrong, but okay. Thank you, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd never seen a goblin before. I've just heard stories, so I figured you were as bad as the wolves. And that after what you and Thea and Gino and the other two did, it wasn't right to me. It didn't sit well, especially after whatever Gino gave me. That was.
Well, you know, my teeth are kind of pointy, but I promise I don't bite.
She kind of laughs. She said, why do you have pointy teeth? Did you chisel them down with a file?
No, this is just, it's normal goblin teeth. A little on the pointy side.
Oh, okay. I saw you had like a little cage earlier, and you were putting bacon down there.
Oh, yeah. Did you want to meet my friend?
Sure.
Oh my god.
He walks over and pulls the cover off.
And as you reveal the skunk, she's like, "That's so precious. I love it." Like, wait, why do you? But it's a skunk.
Yeah, this is my friend.
It hasn't sprayed you yet?
No.
And you leave it in a cage?
Well, I mean, this is kind of, where she's sleeping right now, but you can pet her if you want.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't fuck this poor little scared ass halfling, Thad. All right, cool.
Hey!
Thank you, Thad. I love you, Thad.
The skunk wants to stay with her now.
So as she sticks her head in, her hand in, not her head. As she sticks her hand in, it's almost like she's like, "Hey, little guy." And as she says that, the voice, you watch as ears perk up and like just nuzzling and scratching, and she has a good time. And after a minute or two, she's just petting him and being like, "Oh, you're sweet. You're a good boy." She stands up and well, I know you guys were really tired. You guys came in at dawn. I'll let you get back to sleep. Sorry for bothering you. And she starts to walk out.
Hey, do you want to be my friend?
Oh boy.
Sure, yeah. I don't see why not.
Today's a good day. I made lots of friends.
Well, I'm glad. If you ever need anything, you know where to find me.
Okay. Thank you for stopping.
And she just turns around and walks back to her room. You close the door, lock it up, and fall asleep.
Actually, on that note,
Art
would like to... Well, no, actually, it was a little bit more innocuous than that. Art just thought about the fact that, she did mention the fact that I've been keeping my little friend in this cage, and he wants to let her out and sleep with her for the night.
Okay. As you unlock the cage, go ahead and roll a quick animal handling check. Still with disadvantage because you still are exhausted.
Do I have any luck left? Because the first roll was much better. I have an inspo, so we're going to try an inspo and see if that helps me at all. My last inspo die. Hey, it's not a 1 at least. So that's going to be, let's see, that plus what's my animal handling? Oh, it's not great. So that's going to come out to a total of an 8.
Beat it by 1. I rolled a 7. So, Art, as you unlock the cage, you watch as your new skunk companion walks out and does like a little circle of the room, hops up on the chair, and then hops up on the table and looks out the window out into the rest of the village, hops back down, and you pick her up and you start petting her as you walk over to the bed. You lay down and curl up with her, and she nuzzles into like your armpit and falls asleep. And you rest peacefully.
We're gonna have to get a skunk added to his art now. Like, it's gonna be like a legitimate member of the campaign now.
Thea, as you fall asleep, you hit this deep sleep where, like, when you fall asleep and all you can see is black, and then like you wake up and you're like, you don't have any dreams or nothing. That's where you're at. And in that darkness, you see this tiny, what looks to be a star or a small mote of light at the end of your vision.
Am I able to make any movement, like, from my, like, dream state towards it?
Yeah, you kind of think and will yourself to move closer to it, and as you do, you watch as the speck starts to get brighter and brighter. Not exponentially, but just like you can tell you're moving closer toward it. And then at some point, you watch as that light begins to shrink. And no matter how quickly you run, or how fast, or how, whatever you do, change direction, or whatever, the light begins to shrink until it again is that single tiny fragment on the outer reaches of your sight.
I'm so bad at these dream things.
Does this happen often?
Can I think? Am I supposed to understand this? Thea has no idea what to do.
You wait, standing there in almost silent contemplation and reflection, And as you do, you hear mercy, guidance, vengeance. And as the last syllable of vengeance trails off into the nothingness, that's where we're going to end tonight's show. Thank you all for watching. You guys can catch us in 2 weeks on August 28th, where we will be doing more things. We'll have Bridget back with us. She was on vacation, enjoying the heat wave that didn't necessarily hit the East Coast, but she'll be back in a couple of weeks. We'll have everybody back together, and we'll see where this adventure heads next time. Really quick, we'll go through same thing as always, who we are, where we can find us, blah, blah, blah. I'm Logan Hanley. You can find me at DM_screening. You can find me here. I'll be doing something new if you watch the Call of Cthulhu game or whatever on the initiative order, you'll find out. But yeah, and Nessa's not there, so Gino.
Hey, I'm Chris. You can find me at Chris London Film on Twitter. Also, I play for the Natural Ones, which you can find on Twitch every Wednesday. Also, check out Dwarven Forge. We're doing a new Kickstarter, Wildlands. It's very exciting. I'm streaming every day. I'm very tired.
It's kind of a big deal.
I blinked out. Art.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. You can find me as a melted puddle on the ground. But as far as social media goes, you can find me at Discount Bard. I'm also on Twitch under the same name. You can find me for video game content and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm Chelsea. You can find me at all social medias at Chelsea Marie NYC, and I'm also play for the Natural Ones. Wherever that was.
And Solo.
I remember why I don't wear glasses on stream, because you see all my screens.
I turned my, yeah.
Chris Solo, you all know me. You find me here. I will be playing Nykoril Caden tomorrow for the Riverbreak stream for Vorpal Board. And that will be like an every other week game. And we're also going to have Adventures in Middle Earth on Sunday. Where
can't wait to die to an octopus thing.
Oh my god, I am legitimately one hand out the door. But yes, so Riverbreak tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Adventures in Middle Earth at 3:30 p.m. Pacific on Sunday. Very excited. Lots of cool things are happening in the network. So we're going to raid Encounter Roleplay.
Ooh, raid Encounter Roleplay.
Yeah. I actually enjoy their streams when I get a chance to watch, which I don't really have much time to watch because I'm about as busy as this guy right here. But yes, love you guys. Logan, you want to close this out?
Yeah, thank you for, I don't know, words are tough. Everybody, stay safe. We love you all. Wear a mask. Don't melt into a puddle if you're on the West Coast. Love you. Bye. Thanks. I don't know. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.